Shit. We are back in week 7. Are you kidding? I still, every week, I know I say it, and you guys are probably annoyed by me saying it, but I just can't believe we're this far into the season already.
I know.
We're in the back half of this season, and so much has happened this year that just doesn't make sense to me. Plus we've got a million injuries. But how are your teams doing, Sully? You still alive in most of your guillotine leagues, or how's that going?
I think I started with 5. I'm down to 2, and I have quite the decision to make in one of them. I spent pretty big because my team was crap and picked up CMC and picked up Calvin Ridley this week. So now I'm really wondering if I just roll Jaleel McLaughlin out there this afternoon, or I cross my fingers and hope that CMC plays. What would you guys do?
Man, in a guillotine, that's tough because you just don't want to get 0.
Yeah, I can't take a 0. If I take a 0, I'm going home. So I probably start McLaughlin. Like Trent Williams is out against the Vikings on Monday. They can beat the Vikings with Jordan Mason and you and me and Bryce. Like, I don't see they really need to put CMC out there. Debo's out, so I don't know. But my dynasty teams are good. The ones I want to lose are losing, and the ones I want to win for the most part are winning. I got a pretty ugly week this week, but I'm all right. Bryce, how your team's looking?
We
played each other this week.
Oh, do we? Well, that's
yeah.
Not saying much because you should beat me. There's no way you shouldn't. I think I just had to put in Cam Akers in my lineup after hearing Roshan Johnson's out. So, but I want to lose in that league, so I'm not too upset. But pretty good, in the Grand Prix, the league I'm in with Rick, my most expensive buy-in, started the week off with Alvin Kamara, so that's a heck of a start for me.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I got him from Rick. To be said, so I'm pretty good. Another league, I'm undefeated and going into my biggest bye week of the year, but still probably should win that one as well. So it's looking good, winning where I should and losing where I should as well. So I can't complain too much. How about you, Rick?
None of my shit makes sense. Well, we're all in Superflex, right? I've been trying to lose since the beginning. I think I'm 3-2 in that league. Nobody will take Tarik Hill off my hands, so I quit winning games.
Right.
I've got then the Grand Prix I've been trying to lose all year. I'm 2-3 in that one, and it's just like a couple of the other ones where I should be winning. I'm not. I'm have another situation like the Grand Prix last year in the first dynasty that I started up, where I'm like number 1 in points, but I'm like 7th in the league or something. So none of my stuff makes sense right now, but it's starting to turn. Roshan, just like Bryce was talking, Roshan's really hurt me because I am short on running backs like everywhere, and he was supposed to be my savior this week. So hopefully he can get cleared from that concussion, and hopefully that's not a long-term thing, because we're talking about, they had 10 days from the Thursday game that he had the concussion to the Sunday game. He missed that Sunday, and now we're on to the next one. So we're damn near 3 weeks into this, and he hasn't been cleared yet. So, hopefully for him, that gets cleared up, and it's not something that is a issue for him, moving on in his career, being his first concussion. But Cap for Life says, gentlemen, JSM or Palmer in the flex? Do I pick up Henderson Jr. and drop Reynolds? So let's go ahead with the first part first. JSM or Palmer?
I'll go with Palmer. I'm more convinced in his target share so far, especially with obviously Mike Williams out for the year. I liked Palmer a lot last week, and he had a pretty decent pretty decent outcome for it. I'm trying to look at what his targets end up being at the end of the day, which it was he had 7 targets, went 4 for 60. So it's a nice little 10-point cushion. It seems like he's got a decent floor. If he keeps getting around 7 targets, which he has gotten a minimum of the past 3 games he's played, that's something I like to see, and I wouldn't be surprised to see more of him today facing the Chiefs, which it could be a high-scoring affair, but the Chiefs' defense has been rather good this year. So, Sully.
DK Metcalf's a game-time decision, so we'll see what happens there. Palmer also had a touchdown callback on an absolutely useless holding penalty by, I think it was Rashawn Slater, so that didn't help him very much. I'm with you, Bryce. I think Palmer's much more secure and safer for sure in that offense, so I'm going to go with Palmer here. Rick?
I am sorry. I'm still trying to get this stuff
Don't
fixed.
Be sorry.
But, I'm on the same boat with Palmer. I'll definitely go with him and that Chargers offense. And then on the second one, Brad and I talked about it heavily on Tuesday. We were very concerned that people were going to be spending a huge part of their free agent budget or wasting the number 1 waiver priority on Zach Evans. And we both thought at that time, with them bringing Henderson back in, Royce Freeman, that it was kind of an Amari DiMercado situation where it looked like he would be the guy, but one of these other guys could end up being the lead. And I think Henderson probably ends up being the lead today for the Rams, knowing that offense, being a veteran. Again, I don't think any of us have been real high on Henderson in his career, but he knows the offense and he might get a lot of touches today. And Reynolds has been, Q all week. So he's got some injuries. Gibbs is back. I'm going to go with Henderson here.
I am 100%, and reports have already come out that Henderson and Freeman are going to lead that backfield with Evans backing them up from Adam Scheffner. So that's about as good a source as you can get. And Henderson, to your point, knows that offense. Craig Reynolds is banged up. He's virtually useless once Montgomery comes back, which is probably a week or 2. If you got to win, you got to drop Reynolds and pick up Henderson, in my opinion. Bryce?
Yeah, I'll take Henderson as well. I would imagine him knowing the offense, he's going to get the majority of the reps, and they've been utilizing whatever running back they do have back there starting. So I think he's definitely the guy to have. I think Josh Reynolds could slowly slide down in rankings, guys that you want to have on your team, with Jameson Williams getting more comfortable, maybe more involved in the offense moving forward. So I'll take Henderson for the 4 weeks until Kyron Williams come back, and maybe even a little bit after it if he doesn't come back full strength.
DM Fresh says, what do y'all think? Who do y'all think I should start, Gibbs or Ford? Gibbs had full practice. Bryce, where are you going with this one?
I knew this was gonna be out. Every time we say to bench Jerome Ford, like I don't know how many points he put up last week, but I did get some glances of that game, and he just looks like every time he gets the opportunity, he looks pretty decent. He got 15 points last week against the San Fran offense. And the logic behind us benching him was sound. Like, it was against San Fran. We didn't think he would do much, but I mean, he averaged almost 5 yards a carry, didn't really get too involved in the pass game. The problem I have with Gibbs is what I thought the entire year, and that's the emergence of David Montgomery as the bell cow back, and he's not there this week. So I'm gonna lean Jahmyr Gibbs, hoping that if they do get in the red zone, it's not Craig Reynolds and they just leave him in there. And Kareem Hunt is getting a little bit more ramped up, more involved. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that backfield get split closer to a 50-50. Jerome Ford's snap count was only 60% last week. So I expect Gibbs to have a higher snap count this week, and I like the Lions offense significantly more. So I'll go with Gibbs, but it's kind of close for me. Sully?
There's a lot of layers to this onion. It's not as simple as it looks to me. I do have Gibbs ranked 2 spots higher. I have Gibbs at 11 and Ford at 13. Ford's been solid. He was a little banged up last week, and I think that speaks to his snap count. You also have Kareem Hunt questionable and testing I think it's his thigh or his quad in pregame. They actually added Deion Jackson to their active roster, so that tells you how Kareem Hunt might be doing. Gibbs is getting all the press this week. They're talking about him being that bell cow guy finally. I think this is the week, and I say this with fingers crossed and a lot of optimism, that this is the week that we see what Jahmyr Gibbs can do. The other piece is the Colts, I can't remember his name, but the guy on defense that just got suspended is their run stuffer. So he's out. So both these guys, the answer is both. No, it's somebody else. Sorry. The answer is both these guys, to be totally honest. But if I had to choose, I'm going to slightly put Gibbs ahead of Ford. Rick?
This is Gibbs heavy for me. I just think the upside for what he can do is way, way, way higher. I trust their offense more. I just think he's a way more skilled running back. Everything for me leans Gibbs. Now, I would not be surprised if Dan Campbell broke all my dreams and had freaking somebody, Zegbo, or it could be anything, or they could run 7 times and just throw 45. Who knows? But I'm going Gibbs here for sure. And his first opportunity without David Montgomery, I think he's going to break out.
It's his second opportunity without David Montgomery, is it not?
Yeah, it is. First time he didn't do anything. It broke a lot of people's hearts.
I thought he was hurt that first week that Montgomery
he might have been.
missed.
He might have been banged up, but he was playing.
Well, we'll see.
Yep.
Ronald says, good morning, gentlemen. Jeff Wilson, Justice Hill, or Latavius Murray for the safest floor? Sully, where are you going for the safest floor?
I think it's Latavius Murray. There's no Damian Harris. The Bills can probably do whatever they want today against the Patriots. Sorry, Bryce.
No, it's all right.
Jeff Wilson obviously has the ceiling play to me because he could hit a home run out of that crazy-ass offense anytime. And Justice Hill in that Ravens backfield's a mess. So I'm going to go Latavius Murray. Bryce?
I'm also going Latavius Murray, even though this does smell like an upset this week for no good reason. We have no business winning. We have no business winning this game. Hey, last time, remember we threw the ball twice and we were able to win. Obviously, the weather was a factor, but it's just like it's
you for guys some were reason a better it's like team that year too.
So sorry.
Those games that hasn't it been the theme this year? The games that a team has no business winning, they win. Eagles lost to
certainly
the
Jets. The Browns game last week.
Browns game last week. We're seeing I just swear there's been several games this year like that. Cardinals against the Cowboys. There's just games this year that don't make any sense, and then there's an upset. And I just have a feeling that this is going to be it. I don't want that to happen. I want the Patriots to get the highest possible draft pick ever. But that being said, Latavius Murray gets the ball within the 10 to 15-yard line all the time over James Cook. So he does have that safest floor. He gets work throughout the field, but he does have the higher touchdown upside, in my opinion, than these guys, just based on the team he's on.
So how many passes you throwing today? 4? Start Cunningham? Throw 4 passes?
Yes. This is the kind of this. I told someone this is the game we could see Malik Cunningham just because this could be 40 to nothing at halftime.
I just picked him up this week.
Watch J.C. Jackson will probably have the game of his life against.
All right, there's no Patriots in this question. 0 Patriots.
Patriot
Joe.
Opponent.
Joe, I'm gonna call you Joe.
No, Joe would be defending his team. I am telling him they should lose.
Latavius Murray is the answer. I agree to this question. I was actually trying to get him. I'm hurting so bad in my guillotine too. I have to find a second running back. So I'm over here searching for that as well. But I'm Latavius Murray. I think it's easy. I mean, he split with James Cook last week. He's been taking more and more from James Cook. Now you got Damian Harris out. It's just Murray's probably going to be a 50-50 running back in that backfield. And I'll take that in an offense that has a lot of touchdown upside against a really, really, really bad team.
Joe would say that's the best 1-5 team in NFL history.
Yeah.
Mac Brown will be the death of me. Rip Carolina football. Social worker. I feel like you're in pain every week. You're like me.
I don't want to be disrespectful, but he might need a social worker. We got to calm him down.
Matt Clayton says, what's up, fellas? Javante Williams or Naji this week? Or I guess I could go Sutton as well. So which out of the three are you going to start, Sully? Javante, Naji, or Sutton?
If I trust my rankings, it's Javante. I have him ranked the highest. I just have this feeling for some reason that Naji kind of gets it going. So I'm going to start Javante.
To speak to that,
yeah.
Social Worker says it's still fire Matt Canada, though.
So, 100%.
So once that happens, maybe I feel a little bit better about Naji, but it's just
that's fair.
Social's in here every week, just sad. Matt Canada, fire Canada.
Javante's just not doing it either. Like that backfield's a mess, and Sutton isn't helping me much in that option either. So clearest path to touches and volume, it's probably Javante. And if I had to go Javante versus Naji, I'll go Javante. But I don't like any of these options, to be honest. Bryce, what are you doing?
I think if it's clearest path to touches, I'm going to go with Naji. I think Javante is the more talented player. And it seems like when he gets the ball, he does all right. This last week, he averaged 5.2 yards a carry. He had some nice, good runs. Looked like he had a little bit more pep in his step, in my opinion. But that backfield's more of a mess. I think when Matt Canada gets fired, Naji might finally get benched because I think he's the second best running back on his team. But he gets the work still. So I'm just going to go with the volume play, the more comfortable volume play this week, and I'll go with Najee Harris. Rick?
Looking at my rankings, I have Sutton the highest out of all three of these guys. I have Sutton at 58th overall. I have Harris at 81 overall, and I have Javante at 74 overall. So while they are getting the touches, it's not turning into fantasy production, and that's what we want. Not that Sutton has been great, but he actually has the most touchdown upside in that Denver offense. So I'm going to go Sutton here.
Is
he
who's
the Jair today though?
Is he playing? That's what I was just going to ask. Because he was questionable all day or all week.
I feel like he's always questionable.
Yeah.
It says he's trending in the wrong direction.
So that's better for Sutton.
Yeah, definitely.
They might also find that Jerry Jeudy's not as terrible as they think he is and try throwing him the football. And Jerry might run a route, not pout, be nicer to Steve Smith. I don't know.
I think Steve Smith kind of deserved it.
Yeah.
Deserved it. You can't just like say someone's a jag and then be like mad that they didn't want to come talk to you. Like, what do you expect? Steve Smith would have done that to himself if he said that.
He would have. He would have.
No, he would have done more.
The thing is I don't think either one of them are wrong in the context of who they are and what the situation is.
Correct. I would agree.
But I mean, looking at Sutton, he's had 5 or more targets in all but one game. The one was New York Jets, so that's probably a sauce issue there, right? He's been over 46 yards half of the games. So it's a lot of dead targets, but he's got 4 touchdowns. So he's scoring a touchdown in 66% of the games. So I'm gonna go that route there. Still fire. Cap says, thanks, bros. No problem. We appreciate you stopping by. Social Worker says, should I start Gabe or keep Dillon? Javante, Palmer. So are you starting Gabe Davis over Dillon, Javante, or Palmer? I'm starting him over Dillon for sure.
I'd start him over all these guys.
I like Dillon this week.
Is Aaron Jones out?
No, he's supposed to play, but they are playing Denver, the worst freaking defense in NFL history.
I like Gabe Davis more than all these guys personally.
Yeah, I just don't know how much you guys are going to throw the football. I'd probably start him over Dillon as well. I like Dillon this week. I don't like Dillon top 12 this week. So I think all Gabe has to do is score and you're fine. So he's been doing that. I think he's scored in 3 of the last 4 against the Patriots, but he hasn't topped 30 yards in any of them. So
yeah, that's still.
I'll take him over Dillon. I agree.
Daniel wants to know, fellas, running back. I need 1 running back, 1 flex. Moss, Ford, Foreman, Addison, Rice, Lockett, Deontay Johnson. I'm down by 27. I played Ridley. Boy, I hate Thursday nights.
So he played Ridley and played against Kamara, it looks like.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. Because Kamara scored like 29 and Ridley got 1.5. So
I played against him in the Scott Fish Bowl and he scored 43. Good times.
So the question is, which running back are you going to take out of Moss, Ford, and Foreman?
For me, it's Ford rather easily.
For me, it's Ford. For me, yep.
Yeah, I'm probably Ford. It's not as easy with Foreman getting Las Vegas Raiders defense that's terrible against the run as well.
And they're gonna have to run a lot today.
With Bagent behind there, they're gonna run. Yeah. That's gonna be the focus of the offense, probably.
Don't you stack the shit out of the box though in that situation?
Then that's when you just throw slants to DJ Moore.
Oh, that doesn't help Foreman.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it does. It opens up the field for the run game later.
I guess Darrelson Evans was used way more than I thought he would be. That's my concern.
It's because Foreman fumbled, I think. He fumbled and he did get a lot less usage.
It was like 66-33 even before the fumble, and then Foreman was out the next series, but he was right back in after that. So I don't think the fumble really did anything. But
Foreman also got tackled 3 times, like by his shoelace, or else he was gone in that game.
Yeah, he did
firing through holes.
He was pissed all 3 times too. Like, dude, I just missed it. He almost had a huge day.
He did.
So I'm gonna go Ford, but Foreman's pretty close to me. Moss, it's tough. He's still performing, but at some time he's not going to be the guy leading that backfield. So what's going to happen at that point?
And they play Cleveland, who are stupid good.
Yeah, Cleveland's defense is gross. Then at wide receiver, I think I'm going Addison right now. It's probably Deontay in the future, but Addison right now.
I want to hear about hear about DJ, or I want to hear about DK Metcalf. If he's out, then I'm definitely going to lock it here. If he's in, then I'm probably leaning Addison. It's still close, but I'll lean Addison.
I just look at the Niners defense, and if I'm their defensive coordinator, I say, okay, let's take away Addison. What do the Vikings do? So
that's what I was just thinking.
They might just take him away. I might be Rashee Rice here.
No, see, I changed it. I'm going Ford and Foreman here.
Oh, you're flexing? Actually, I don't mind that at all.
I'll go Addison, and I'll still go Addison and Ford.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about the 49ers matchup. That is very, very scary for a rookie wide receiver. I may like KJ Osborne more this week than I do Addison.
I do too.
But Lockett, I could definitely go Lockett over Foreman if DK is out. If we find out he's out, then I could go Lockett over Foreman. If not, I'm going Ford and Foreman. Trigger Finger says, I told you Tyler Bagent was a thing. Well, he's only a thing because somebody's trigger finger got dislocated. Actually, it wasn't a trigger finger, but it was
trigger thumb.
To play off that trigger thumb. He says he's rolling with Royce Freeman over Henderson. I'm not going that far.
I would not.
Royce Freeman runs like he's dragging something.
But he wants to know Justice Hill or A.J. Dillon.
A.J. Dillon by a mile for me. That backfield is a mess in Baltimore. You don't know where the work is going, and A.J. Dillon gets the Broncos, and that's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, I'm looking at it here. I'm going to go with A.J. Dillon as well. Justice Hill has yet to, but outside of week 2, eclipse 11 touches total. So that backfield is a disaster right now. Give me A.J. Dillon.
Man, I don't think it's.
Don't underestimate that the Lions are the best run defense in football right now either.
I have Justice Hill at 93 and Dillon at 101. So I'm actually Justice Hill over A.J. Dillon this week.
Yeah. He got a 38% snap percentage last week, 56 the week before. Yeah, I can't.
Dillon's just been bad though. Like, yeah, he's getting touches, but
he's okay last game. He was okay last.
They're both. They're both
last
bad.
game without. No, I think
Justice
Dillon
Hill's been pretty efficient. That's Baltimore running game, though, right? Like they're always efficient.
I thought Dillon played well last game. I can't even remember.
He did,
who the hell
and he's consistently over 50% snap percentage.
Well, yeah,
Justice Hill is efficient. I mean, he gets 4.3, 4.5, and
they all do
11 yards.
And he's scoring touchdowns. I mean, AJ Dillon hasn't been up until last week. I looked at his.
I think AJ Dillon has more touchdowns this season than Justice Hill. I think it's like 2-1.
Well, yeah, but Justice Hill has missed time, and AJ Dillon has had that backfield all to himself and was still back.
Sure. But my fantasy points don't need excuses or care. Like,
but he hasn't.
Just think AJ Dillon score more.
Scores
more points.
Justice Hill has 3 touchdowns this year. AJ Dillon has 1.
Wow, I don't know what I'm talking about. I had no idea.
That's what I mean. AJ Dillon AJ Dillon has not had one game all year where he's averaged over 3.8 yards per carry.
Well, what was last week?
3.8 yards against Las Vegas. He was 20 for 76.
Well, you're gonna find how daunting that Vegas run defense is today, my friend. Secret agent man running the show. I like him, by the way.
But serious, week 1 against Chicago, Dillon, 13 attempts, 19 yards. Yeah, Atlanta, second week, 15 for 55. That's his second best efficiency day at 3.7 yards per carry. New Orleans, 11 for 33 for 3 yards per carry. And Detroit, 5 for 11 for 2.2 before his 20 for 76, 3.8 against the Raiders. So he's not catching like he has in the past. He's only got 3 receptions and 1 touchdown. So he's not scoring fantasy points at all.
He's just not good.
It's weird because he used to be. Like
That's just it. Like how does a guy just not get good all of a sudden?
Right.
Did
it's
his
tough.
thighs get too big or what? Like I don't know.
Might be. I'll be right back, guys.
Might be.
I kind of want to bet that.
It's not one that I want to bet. It's too
dirty to bet.
We've had too many bad bets where we've won four fantasy points to 3. Like, oh, cool, yeah. We nailed that one. Hey guys, happy football, man. This sucks. Montgomery, Connor, Achane on IR. I'm down to Ford, Madison, and I picked up Foreman. So, I think we agree here. Ford, you're not going to play Madison over these guys against San Fran, are you?
Nope.
Okay, I figured we were finally going to be on the same page with Madison for a week. It's Ford here. We already picked Ford over Foreman, and the last one they were in there. So Big Boss, we're going to go with him and sit Madison against the 49ers.
Yep.
And then he follows that up with, would you start Foreman or pick up Ingram from Arizona? So if it's in that same one, we would just go Ford. I would go Foreman over Ingram.
By massive amounts.
And he said, sorry, my screen is freaking out. Yeah, it's probably because you have the same bye week issues that we have.
Right.
Bye week hell this week. And
week
injuries.
Even worse.
Isaac needs to know, though, Rashee Rice or Jacoby with a backup QB. I need the most upside I can get. I started Ridley. I'm still going Jacoby over Rashee Rice here. I mean, at least Brian Hoyer is a veteran that'll sling it. Like, he's probably going to throw some, well, I don't know. It's the Bears defense, so he might not turn it over at all.
Yeah. You're without your safety again too, right?
Yeah, one of them.
I'm with you. It's Jacoby, but does Davante Adams get targeted to death now that he basically pooped all over his organization and told him how garbage they are and that they should throw in the football? Like, I think it's a big Davante Adams, at least target day. I don't know if Brian Hoyer can turn that into productivity. Rice could easily score 2 times in this game because I do think it could be a bit of a track meet, but I also thought that the Chiefs and the Broncos would be a track meet and it was like 16-9 or something. So Jacoby just has such a safe floor. He's getting in the end zone, which was his only limitations in New England. So to me, it's Jacoby. I'm with you on that one. And sorry about Ridley. I did the same.
Yeah, I've got Ridley in way too many spots, so it's been a tough start to the week for me in a lot of spots as well. But I think even if it is a big Davante Adams week, it's him and Jacoby that get all the targets, right? Like Mayer has gotten a little more involved over the past 2 weeks, which I like to see out of a young tight end, but there's still plenty of targets for Jacoby to get. If they throw 30 times, it may be 13 targets to Davante and 9 to Jacoby, and then everything else spread out between running backs and tight ends and whatnot. But I'm going with Jacoby here. What about you, Bryce? I'm assuming you're Jacoby. I know you're a big Jacoby fan.
Yeah, I love Jacoby Myers. The saddest day was when they signed Juju and kept him. He's gotten over 15 points in every game except one this year. He is. I thought that this would be the perfect situation. He is suited to be the number 2 wide receiver on a team, and he's proving that right here, right now. And you got to also think the backup quarterback he's playing with is someone he already has a rapport with. Brian Hoyer probably was the second string quarterback for his rookie or his first 2 years. So he got to get some reps with Jacoby when he was an undrafted free agent early in his career. So he'll be looking to him in this game, even if it is what I also expect a big Adams week.
I hate that the Raiders are starting Brian Hoyer, by the way.
It would have been so much. It would have been such a way more fun
Patriots
game if it was O'Connell, Farva versus Bagent rather than Brian Hoyer.
This is how organizations remain mediocre and crappy. You don't work on any development whatsoever. Just annoys me.
Social Worker says that it's a Jaylen Warren breakout game.
All right.
Ronald's laughing. I don't remember. I remember when we were talking about Ronald. Oh, probably me saying that it's not. There's no Patriots in this question, and then Matt Clayton just following it up. Joe Jr. over here.
There we go. There we go. That's one of 5 teams in NFL history.
By the way, I got in trouble for recommending people to come to your show from Yahoo Players Boards. I got an email saying if it's brought to their attention again, they are suspending my account permanently. Well, Big Boss, we appreciate you being a foot soldier out there for RotoHeat and spreading the word, but don't get banned off of platforms that you like for us. We really appreciate it, though. It means a lot. It really does that you would actually put in the time to do that. So thank you very, very much.
Nice to know that Yahoo fears us as well. It's good.
Yeah. That's what I got for Yahoo.
Yeah,
I used them.
Right?
1997 called Yahoo. They want their fantasy format back.
Do you still have to have an AOL email account to
dial up to play that in that Yahoo league or what?
I play fantasy at hotmail.com.
Right.
It's pain till Canada is gone. We agree. So Craig wants to know with Grover Stewart suspended, is Taven Bryan worth a start in deep leagues with a premium when you have to start 2 defensive tackles?
100%.
Sure.
100. Yeah.
Grover Stewart, by the way, Bryce is the guy I was talking about earlier. Colts.
What did Grover Stewart get suspended for? PED. Daniel says Raider Nation upset McDummy is playing Hoyer over AOC. If we lose to the Bears, fire Josh McDaniels.
Can't afford to, but you should.
Ford or Robinson?
Like Bijan?
I bet it's Brian. I bet it's Brian Robinson Jr. It's got to be.
So it's Bijan over Ford, and it's Ford over Brian, if this is how the question lays out for me.
But what about James?
He might be taking on the practice squad, I think.
He might be taking all AJ Dillon's.
Well, at 2.2 blup per carry, he might, because he can get that himself.
Right. Yeah, I'm assuming this isn't Bijan. I'm assuming Elliott knows to start Bijan, and it's Brian. I'm gonna go.
They're all good starts this week, though.
I'm going Brian Robinson against the
Giants. I don't blame you. They're all inside my top 20.
Let's see. Brian Robinson. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. I'm making sure because.
Well, you're making sure.
Yeah. I got
Bijan at 7, Ford at 13, and Brian at 17.
So I have mine at where I have them overall. So let's work this out, right? I have Jerome Ford at 47 overall. I have Brian at 48 overall. So they're literally back to back. Literally back to back. So I've got Ford one spot ahead. They're in the same tier though. If somebody was arguing for Robinson, I wouldn't like put up a fight against it. Obviously, they're back to back in my ranking. Ronald says, appreciate the detailed answers. DJ Moore or Addison for a boom week.
Moore.
So
there's no boom in Addison this week, unless he scores a couple of times, which I don't see. But I think Moore is obviously the best player on that Bears offense. And if I'm an undrafted rookie free agent with Max Crosby coming at me, I'm going to get the ball in a hurry. And if I'm going to get the ball in a hurry, it's going to DJ Moore or Cole Kmet. So I think DJ Moore can have a pretty darn good day against not the greatest secondary. And Addison, I think, just gets shut down. So it'd be DJ Moore pretty easy for me.
Yeah, DJ Moore can get the ball at the line of scrimmage on quick screens and make big plays out of it. Better than most wide receivers in the league. So I will go with DJ Moore as well, expecting the Bears to use the quick pass game all day today.
I'm with you guys. I don't have to say
Secret
anymore.
Agent Man. That's the best nickname I heard all week.
Social Worker says benching Dillon, starting Gabe, Palmer, and Javante.
Yeah,
I like it. Chris says Flowers or Pittman in half PPR. Bryce.
Probably Pittman. I really like Zay. Yeah, it's Pittman. It's Pittman Jr. He gets all the targets. I wasn't sure how many targets he got last week because I know Gardner Minshew threw it to the running backs like 20 times or something close to that, it seemed like. But Pittman Jr. still got 14 targets on 9 receptions. He's a target hog. I mean, he's got over 10 targets in 4 of the 6 games this year, and then the 2 he didn't was a 5 and a 7. So those aren't even that terrible. So yep, Pittman Jr. is a pretty easy start for me on a weekly basis. Sully?
Except this week against a defense that I don't think has allowed more than 41 receiving yards to a wide receiver this year. It might have been eclipsed by Ayuk's one big play last week. Cleveland is like historically good on defense. They are absolutely shutting teams down. Zay Flowers is the guy in Baltimore, and he's going to continue to get those targets. He got in the end zone for the first time last week. This kid's really good. Michael Pittman most weeks, but not this week for me. Let's say Flowers.
I have Flowers ahead of Pittman this week as well, and you guys know how big of a Pittman fan I am.
100%.
I'll do it. Yep, you can write that one down. Flowers versus Pittman.
God, I'm getting so rich on this show.
Yeah, but you might get rich, but who? I don't
know. You're
off
to a hot start this year.
The only reason I'm rich is because I haven't paid the previous year's debt that I have. That's the
problem. Jackson needs to know Donta Foreman, Alexander Madison, or Jeff Wilson Jr. at running back 2 in a full PPR league. Sully.
I think Madison might keep this close because it's full PPR, but it's still Foreman for me. Bryce?
Whoa, I didn't think he'd steer off of his Alexander Madison over Foreman.
Hey, Alexander Madison has been good to me this year, but
but he is playing. He's playing San Fran.
That's going to be an ugly Monday Night Football game.
Yeah, I'm going to go Deontay Foreman as well. Kind of easier this week. I thought it was close last week between him and Madison, but this week I'll go with Foreman rather easily.
Wilson, if I knew that he was like back full, would probably be my answer here. Not knowing, I'm going Foreman. But I think Jeff Wilson is somebody people need to start keeping an eye on.
Oh, 100%. I just don't know what his usage is going to be, and he's got a kind of a nasty matchup too.
Daniel says I just picked up I don't care. With the Miami offense,
I thought really you were telling me that he picked up Darrell Henderson. I just picked up Henderson. I don't care.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying I don't care.
I was like,
I say for the Miami offense, like right now, I don't care what defense they play. If
I think I saw a stat, they've scored 15 rushing and 15 passing touchdowns so far this season.
They're leading the league in rushing and in passing. Like
the last time that was done was like 1958, and I was thinking to myself, who the hell had an offense like that in 1958?
Captain Flowers over here says 12-team full PPR. Who should I start in the flex? Jeff Wilson Jr., Darrell Henderson Jr., Jamison Williams, or Michael Wilson? Bryce, which one of these are you going to start?
Michael Wilson's been coming on as of lately. The last 2 weeks, he saw over a 75% snap share, but his targets aren't coming with it yet. So I'm steering clear of him as well. Jeff Wilson, the rest of these guys got a lot of question marks around him, right? I mean, Jeff Wilson Jr. is the backup running back for Miami, but we've seen when they have two running backs healthy that they both are definitely startable assets. Darrell Henderson, in theory, should be taking majority of the snaps this week. And Jameson Williams, kind of your big play threat. With that being said, I'm going to just lean Darrell Henderson Jr. here just because I feel like I have a little bit more certainty on his usage. Or at least I'm going to guess I have a little more certainty on his usage today, being what I would guess the lead running back for the Rams, knowing the offense. Royce Freeman's coming in, but he hasn't been in that lineup to know the offense as well yet either. So Darrell Henderson Jr. for me. Sully.
I think Jeff Wilson and Jameson Williams can do in one play what the rest of these guys would need the whole game to do. So I kind of lean towards the two of them. Michael Wilson's just too inconsistent. He's running sprints out there. Darrell Henderson Jr. isn't good. He's just in a good spot. Jeff Wilson Jr., we don't know what he's going to do. And Jameson, I'm just really not that high on. I'm the guy that got yelled at on Facebook for telling everybody to sell him last week. I'm going to go. I think this is
I was
the
not
line.
yelling at you.
I was not yelling at you. But people just need to chill the hell out, man. I'm going to go Jeff Wilson Jr. here. I think he is. I know it's questionable how much usage he's going to get, but Jameson's not going to get a ton. Baltimore also has a very good pass defense. He needs the home run play like he had last week to do it, and I'm going to bet that he doesn't. So I'll go with Jeff Wilson being the best option here.
I actually just put Jeff Wilson in my guillotine lineup, which is scary, but that's how bad it is at running back for me.
Over
who? I'm going Jeff Wilson here as well. We know that McDaniels loves Jeff Wilson and Raheem Mostert, right? Like he brought those guys in when he got the job, and then he re-signed both of them last offseason when everybody wanted them to go get a big running back on the market to trade for or to draft early in the draft. They did obviously draft Achane, but they love Jeff Wilson, and I'll take 10 touches from Jeff Wilson in the Dolphins offense over 20 for Darrell Henderson in the Rams offense.
That offense is unbelievable. It's the way they scheme the running back, and I don't want to go on a tangent here, but I was watching some film breakdowns where they take Tarik and Waddle and stack them on the right-hand side and basically draw the entire defense there. And then those are the ones where they gave it to Achane going around the right side. It was like, see ya.
So Joe needs us to pick two in a non-PPR. Foreman, Hunt, Jay Wilson, Mitchell. I think we can eliminate Mitchell, right? Because that's Monday night, and we're not going to know whether CMC is out.
Hunt's a game time, so this decision might get made for you. So make sure you're paying attention before kickoff. All things equal, if everyone was healthy, it'd be Foreman and Hunt for me.
For me, non-PPR, Jeff Wilson Jr. is number one. And then I'll go with Foreman. I can't do Mitchell because if CMC plays, he might be third in the depth chart. I'm not sure if he's
second for Mason. Sure. Mason's ahead of him. Yep.
So let me go with Jeff Wilson Jr. and then Foreman.
It's Foreman and then Wilson for me, but
I'm going to change my answer. You guys are right.
That's just format. Might get 25 carries today to Wilson's 10 touches. So that, but it's same two guys. Fellas, what happens if DK is a game time decision? Foreman is playing at 1. I think if you're worried about DK playing, then Foreman is fine to start. He's gonna get a lot of carries today against the Raiders.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yep.
I agree with that. And for what it's worth, I think DK plays. He's been playing through this for 2 weeks now, but why risk it? I'm not an internet doctor.
Do I drop Ravens? They play Seattle or Washington D? Wait,
don't drop the
Ravens.
Washington
play
D.
Seattle or Washington D? Wait,
okay. I think Washington and might be my top ranked defense.
He's got the Ravens in. Should he drop them and
Yeah, I understand now. I'm playing Seattle. Wait,
I'm playing Washington. Washington against the Giants all damn day. They're gonna have 14 sacks today.
You actually have Seahawks ranked ahead of Washington on the website.
I don't think so. I do.
You do. I'm looking at it right now. You have Seattle 4 and Washington 5. I have Washington 4 and Seattle 5. So we both said the opposite of what we had in the rankings.
But I didn't update because I actually have Cleveland 1, Washington 2. I have Seattle down at 5. So I just need to update it. But that's fair.
Yeah, Washington.
I always pick defense based on who I think gets the most sacks. And
14.
So Washington. Yeah.
14 today.
Who did I pick last week? And I swear that they had like 8 sacks. The team I was like last week.
All 3 are good plays this week, though.
They are. The Ravens would be the lowest for me, though. Detroit's good.
Bobby Jones Truck Spillane.
Just don't tell Brad.
That's too.
Brad was taking victory laps on Tuesday night, eh?
He's
hanging banners in his house. He's doing everything.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. It's a whole franchise, I guess, changes in 6 weeks.
He's been getting his water from Flint.
That's funny. Daniel Jones ruled out Tyrod again.
Latavius Murray or Justice Hill for Cruz? Murray.
Yeah, I believe I was Latavius on this exact opportunity earlier, and I'll stay there.
Lex plant some trees. Says Howell, Deshaun, or Love this week?
Jordan Love for me.
It's a Love week. He plays against Denver.
It's Love, Howell, Deshaun for me in my rankings.
I'm looking.
Oh, we're on that. Love. Would you start Foreman over Christian Watson, potentially pulling Surtain all over him all week or all day?
Nope.
I'm going Howell here. I have Howell ranked the highest out of all these guys. I have Howell's top 12, 11, number 11.
I have him at 11 as well. I have Love at 7. Woo.
I have Love at 15. Love has been
crazy.
So
no love for Love. It's Denver, dude. You and I could get 15 fantasy points against the Broncos.
I don't agree with that. Just because they're a bad defense, but a bad quarterback is going to do good.
They're the worst defense in NFL history statistically.
Love gets a lot of garbage time points too. Like he might not be a good real quarterback, but he hasn't been the worst fantasy quarterback.
He throws for 250 and 2 easy today.
You guys can have him. I think they run the ball a lot with
AJ Dillon.
Man back. No, not with AJ Dillon. They got the man back.
3.5 yards a carry, AJ Dillon.
Right? They'd have to run 100 plays.
Oh, speaking of, Trigger says everyone rags on Dillon too much. He's been off this year, but Jordan Love hasn't been good, and the game flow dictates that they always playing from behind, and that renders Dillon useless. You can't run for under 3 yards a carry for the majority of your games and then blame it on anything other than you not being good. I would agree. Like if he was at like 3.6 to 3.9, I could get behind that, but he's got games where he rushed for less than 2 yards per carry. He hasn't topped 4 yards per carry, and that's not something that we've seen from Dillon in his career. He's been bad. He has not played well. And that's part of the reason why their offense hasn't been as good, right? With Aaron Jones out, Dillon's a big part of why the offense hasn't been good.
That man needs to be able to break tackles, and he's not breaking tackles right now. He's freaking gigantic, and he's not breaking tackles.
Everyone assumes that Aaron Jones would be averaging 6 yards per carry if he was healthy, but I don't think he'd be much better. I would put money on Aaron Jones, and we can start from right now for the rest of the year, Aaron Jones being a more efficient running back than AJ Dillon.
Easily.
I think that I agree 1,000%. That's about like falling out of a boat and betting you're going to hit water. But I think that Aaron Jones is slowing down, and I think he's slowing down and showing his age a little bit. But to the point, not going to do 6 yards per carry back anymore.
Not many of those.
For whatever reason, AJ Dillon just isn't. I don't know if they've changed from zone to man blocking schemes or whatever the situation is. His vision's gone, and he looks slow, and he's plodding out there. So he's still an NFL running back. He's a good football player. He's just not getting it done.
Judy or Deontay this week in PPR? Bryce.
Jesus.
Give me Deontay Johnson. I've been practicing full this week. When he's on the field, he's a target monster. I mean, we can't really say that this year because he hasn't been on the field hardly. But just, I'll let the pass speak for itself in past seasons. He's a great route runner. His biggest struggle is obviously drops, but give me Deontay Johnson. I think he's gonna get targeted a ton today. Sorry.
I love Deontay Johnson. His A-dot's disgustingly low in that offense. He's coming back from injury. Bryce, how many targets did he have in week 1?
Well, he went down. He went down in week 1, so we have to. We do have to take that into account. But I think he was right around.
I'm pulling it up right now on RotoHeat.com.
What's a good website? I think I'm going to go.
Never mind.
6.
He hasn't pulled his game log since he hasn't played. So he had 6 before he got hurt.
Yes, yeah. His snap percentage was 43%, which probably shows you he went down obviously before half their offensive snaps were.
So PPR gave me Deontay Johnson just based on the fact that I think he gets more catches, and I don't think either one of them has an overwhelmingly impressive day today, just based on Deontay coming back from injury and jury duty being really hard to figure out. So I'll go with DJ here. It's close, very close for me. I'm going to actually see how I have it ranked.
He was, and this is against San Francisco, he was on track to probably get roughly about 15 fantasy points if he played the entire game.
I'm taking Deontay. I have him ranked 62, and I think I had Judy 72. So slight leaning Deontay there. Hey, if you would, hit that like button. We have 50 of you watching right now. We appreciate you. If you have questions, we do get to them in order. The only way to get your question answered faster is a super chat. But right now we're on Brady, and he needs to know Royce Freeman or Gus Edwards. Sully.
Gross.
Yeah. Gus Edwards. I don't think Royce touches the ball even 8 times today, and I just don't think he's any good. So Gus, at least, back to what we were talking about, Justice Hill can get that 4.5 to 5.5 yards per carry. He might get a touch at the stripe and score a touchdown. That backfield is a mess, and the Lions are a good run defense, but I'm going to go with Gus Edwards. He's been an NFL football player all year, and Royce Freeman hasn't. Bryce?
Yeah, I guess Gus Edwards. He's been horrible this year, but I don't know how many Royce Freeman could be DeMercado this week. So give me Gus Edwards.
Oh, yeah, it's Gus Edwards easy. There's no situation that I'm starting Royce Freeman this week. Zero situations.
I agree, unless it's a Rams-only league.
Yeah. Then I'm still struggling. I'm probably putting Tutu in this flex, right? Starting.
I'll just stick with Kyron, even though he's on IR.
Yeah, I'm starting Tutu, Cup, and Puka, and then
right,
and then Evans and Henderson at running back, because Royce Freeman's doo-doo sauce. He's the booty sauce for sure. Logan Thomas or Musgrave?
This is Logan Thomas for me. Obviously, he put up a horrible week last week with 1.7 points, but outside of that, he's got above 10 points in 3 of the other 4 games, with the other one being 8.8 against Philly. That was sub 10 points. So he's been relatively consistent this year when you're configuring the tight end spot. So, and he's got a higher ceiling play, I think, than Musgraves.
I got Thomas 2 spots higher at 11 and Musgrave at 13. So I'll stick with Logan Thomas. I do like Musgrave against, again, Denver. So, but yeah, Logan Thomas most weeks is going to out-target Musgrave considerably. So I'll go with Logan.
I'm looking in the wrong spots here. Musgrave, I have 107. Thomas, I have 78. So I'm going Logan Thomas by a decent amount here. But Musgrave is an impressive looking rookie so far. Yeah. Belichick gets fired, McDaniels gets fired, and the 2 of them and Matt Patricia resurface in Rutgers next year. Eric
Bill
Schaefer,
Belichick 100% should get fired, and it'll never happen.
I don't know, man. Kraft, there's rumors Kraft's starting to think about it. We got questions. Like, if we didn't have this many questions, we could dig into that, but we have a lot to catch up on. But if we get some time, I want to circle back to this because I want to get the Patriots fans ideas on a couple things. Can we trust Deontay today?
Trust? No. I said best 1 in 5 team ever. I was being an ass.
Can we trust Deontay today? And are we thinking McCaffrey sits? So go ahead and complete your thought there, Sully.
I don't think you can trust him. I think in a week with as many teams on bye and the injuries that we're having, you might find yourself needing to start him. I know I am in some spots. And yes, I do think Christian McCaffrey sits, and that's just my personal opinion. I just don't think San Francisco needs him to win that football game on Monday night. There's also a lot of talk about the Niners not liking field turf, and the Viking Stadium, one of the last stadiums out there that has field turf. Potential of injuries higher than other surfaces. So if there was ever a game to sit McCaffrey, this would be it.
Yeah, I feel okay with Deontay Johnson today. It's a pretty big bye week for a lot of important players and on important teams. So Deontay Johnson is a guy that I feel pretty comfortable putting in if I am dealing with those bye weeks. And I think McCaffrey sits as well, but they could just keep him in there to keep his. Well, I mean, I guess his touchdown streak alive, but I guess it wouldn't be gone if he doesn't play, right? So, if you're in debating on starting someone that plays today, you need to if that debate is between them and McCaffrey. So, yep, that's 100%. How I feel about that. Rick?
I mean, if this is like no special knowledge or anything, I think McCaffrey does play. Did practice yesterday. So I feel like he's trending in the right direction. And while I understand maybe they don't need him to beat the Vikings, they also lost the PJ Walker-led Cleveland last week. So I don't think you can overlook any opponent in the NFL. So I don't think they're sitting there going, the Vikings suck. Sully hates them, and he's a Vikings fan.
I don't hate them. I'm a realistic fan. That's all I'm saying. They're my favorite team. They just suck.
I'm trusting Deontay today. They need all the help they can get on offense. We would love to see Matt Canada gone, but Deontay just eats targets there. So I'm fine with putting him in any lineups where I've got him. Eric says PPR start Jonnu at Tampa Bay or Musgrave at Denver. So Jonnu Smith, Musgrave. Which one of those two you going with, Bryce?
I'll go with Musgraves here. Even though Jonnu's usage is really, really nice, Musgraves is playing against the soft Denver defense. Should be a high scoring game, I would expect. But I also said that last week against Minnesota and the Bears, and that was absolutely disappointing. So
sure was. Sully. Back to back in my rankings, Jonnu 12, Luke 13. I will go with Jonnu.
I think. Oh my gosh, they're back to back in mine too. I have Jonnu at 106 and Musgrave at 107. So just a slight lead to Jonnu there for me as well. Marco says, good morning, PPR, Ayuk, Puka, DJ Moore, Jonathan Taylor, Jerome Ford, and Jahmyr Gibbs. I need one wide receiver, one running back, one flex. I am going to go Ayuk, number 1, at wide receiver. Jonathan Taylor, the first running back, and then I think I'm going Jerome Ford as my flex. Even though I want it to be Gibbs. I might go Gibbs if I need upside.
Yeah, I will go with Ayuk with Deebo Samuel out. Makes that a little easier for me. I will go with Jahmyr Gibbs as my running back. And then I think I feel safer going with DJ Moore at the flex. Sucks to bench Jonathan Taylor, but the matchup is really, really bad this week. So you'd have to expect he gets most of his points through the air, which is definitely possible. But Zach Moss is not he's earned the opportunity to continue seeing the field as much as he has. So they might still kind of have that backfield more split than it should be for this week. Totally.
The Rams play.
I was getting ready to ask, are you putting Puka or DJ Moore over Puka? You feel safer with Moore than Puka with Badgett behind there?
Yeah, I just think when you get a young receiver back there, and Badgett really in the limited amount of time last week didn't look god awful as a passer.
He had one really, really bad pass. Other than that, I thought he was okay.
Yeah, but when you get a guy in there that's new, who do you target? You got to pepper your best offensive weapon. So DJ Moore could be just, could see his normal target share if, that he has been all year. So he's only put up 1 week below 10 points this entire season. So I don't really think that he's just quarterback proof. So.
Well, we know he's quarterback proof from his career, right?
So, I mean, let's be honest, could Badgett be, Justin Fields so far through his career with DJ Moore has been not a very good passer outside of maybe a couple of games. So Badgett could be just as good, if not better, than Fields as a passer. So maybe not
I think
that's way off, but
I think Puka bounces back this week. Puka dropped a touchdown, an easy touchdown last week, and had he, it probably wouldn't be a conversation that we're having right now. To answer this question, it's Ayuk for me, and then my running back is going to be Jahmyr Gibbs, and I'm going to flex Jerome Ford, and I'm going to sit the rest.
DJ Moore or Deontay Johnson? Sully.
DJ Moore for me. It's not quite ready for Deontay yet.
Yeah, DJ Moore for me.
I'm in the same boat. Javante Williams or Gabe Davis?
We had this earlier, and I think I went with Williams.
Yeah, it was like Gabe Davis over a plethora of
couple of different guys, right?
Yeah, and I said I'd start him over all of them, and one of those guys was Javante Williams. So Gabe Davis for me.
Yep, I'm Davis as well.
I don't know what it was.
Cap for Life says, grade the squad, bros. Okay, we're going to have to be quick on this. Stroud, ETN, Barkley, Puka, Amon-Ra, Kittle, Palmer, Spears, JSM, Justin Tucker. I need a defense, bros. Slim Pickens, Seattle or Rams. Seattle. I think we're Seattle on the defense.
That's a nice team.
And then, yeah, if you're healthy, I would say that's probably a B+.
Yeah, size of league and all that stuff taken into consideration. This feels like 10 or smaller, but at the same time, this is a really good lineup. Bench strength is there. I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, regardless of what size it is, it's a pretty solid team, and I would absolutely go with Seattle over the Rams this week.
Yep, Seattle for me. I give the team a B. Especially this week, I like it a lot with Kittle and I like Palmer the rest of the year. So yep, I like the squad. Solid team, should be competing for in the playoffs, and then Seattle for me.
So what grade did you give, Sully?
I don't really know how to grade, so I'll just say B, just like you guys did. I don't know what my scale is.
We're in the B+ range.
It's a damn good team. Overall. So B+. How about that?
The problem is Barkley, ankle injury, hasn't really been there. Kittle is completely different when both wide receivers are healthy. And then, I'm still interested to see what Stroud does second half of the season.
Those are all fair comments.
Rookie struggles are definitely real, and he hasn't had his yet. Latavius Murray, Jordan Mason, or Darrell Henderson, full PPR. Sully, which one are you going with here?
Lat Murray for me, please. Bryce?
Yeah, if we had clarity on McCaffrey, it'd be Jordan Mason, but we don't, so it'll be Latavius Murray.
Agreed.
Latavius Murray for me as well. I agree with everything you guys both said. John says half PPR. Do we start Jaden Reed, Rondell Moore, or Latavius Murray? Are we going Latavius Murray here again?
I like Jaden Reed, but it's so inconsistent with volume. Rondell, who knows? Yeah, I think I am. Especially half. If it was full, I might go Reed.
Yeah, it's Latavius Murray for me. The other two are super inconsistent for their on their team. So Murray gets the ball in the red zone. That's the change for me.
Yeah, it would be Reed for me if Christian Watson wasn't back. But with Christian Watson back and Dobbs healthy and Musgrave healthy, it's tough to start Reed. Okay, Rashee Rice or Michael Pittman Jr. Sully, which one are you going with?
It's still Pittman. And I know I said all those things about the Browns offense earlier, but Pittman could, if he goes 5 catches for 15 yards, he might score more points than Rashee Rice. So it's just a volume thing. Like Pittman's going to get targeted to death today. Rashee Rice might not. So
yeah,
it's Pittman.
Yeah. Let's call it what it is. Rashee Rice is touchdown dependent as of right now.
100%.
His
100%.
volume is not sufficient enough to compete with guys like Michael Pittman Jr., who's getting all the work in the receiving game outside of the running backs right now. So yeah, Michael Pittman Jr. even against the tough matchup.
And not to mention, the Chiefs just brought in somebody familiar with their offense, trading for Mecole Hardman. I don't know if he's active this week.
I think he is.
I'm assuming he's going to be because he knows the offense and he can probably just jump back in. He's only been away from the team for 6 games. So it's going to be interesting to see how that affects every other receiver in this offense. So I'm Michael Pittman Jr. as well. I would have been anyway, but just an added wrinkle to the Rashee Rice situation, which is right up again with Sotober. Who should I start? Jacoby Myers or Rashee Rice? Is triple stack sketchy starting Mahomes and Pacheco? I would be starting Jacoby here either way, whether you had those other Chiefs or not. So I'm on the Jacoby side here. You agree with that, Bryce?
Yeah, by a lot. Jacoby Myers is becoming a must start in most leagues unless you're just absolutely stacked.
Mecole Hardman is expected to play today, and Jacoby Myers by a mile for me. So Jacoby's gonna have a rough game, hey Bryce? Kiss a death on him.
I mean, he could, but he's just so he's been consistent outside of week 1. So.
I love him.
Davante Adams being there is the best thing for him. Like if he gets traded, that actually hurts Jacoby Myers.
The Raiders came out and said they are not trading Davante Adams.
Doesn't matter how unhappy he is.
Made me sad. We don't care if you don't like it here. You're staying.
Yeah.
So. Bryce, so I don't lose my spot. We have a super chat down there. It doesn't have anything in it, but he asked a question like 4 above that. Will you click on that question from Marvin?
Yeah, let's see here.
It's a few spots above his at 10:04 a.m.
Got it. Yep. All right. Should I play Cook or Gibbs? Got to be James, right?
Yeah, it's got to be James, Cook, and Marvin. Thanks for the super chat. We appreciate it. Bumps you to the top of the line. I'm going Gibbs. Cook's losing touches to Murray.
Yeah, Gibbs. I really think, and I sure hope I'm right, that this is the game where we get what we thought we were going to get from Gibbs. Gibbs for me.
I feel like the Bills are telling us right now exactly how comfortable they are with Cook as their main running back. He's been losing the touches to Latavius Murray, for one. They were 50-50 last week, and then they immediately brought Fournette in, even though he didn't sign. They're looking for options at running back right now, which is probably not making James Cook owners feel real good right about now.
Yeah, I added James Cook in a desperation play in a guillotine league, same one where I started Calvin Ridley, and I'm I think my neck's half off already. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's Jahmyr Gibbs for me as well. I mean, Cook did get like 14 touches last week, and he's been getting around like that 12 to 18 almost consistently outside of 1 week this year. But the snap percentage is going down, and that's the main concern for sure that you guys are mentioning. So, yeah, I don't think he is a I know he's their bell cow back right now, but I think they could – or not bell cow back, but he's their main running back right now, their starter. But that's something that I don't foreseeing happening much longer. 50-50 split moving forward might not be the starter next year. So,
and their offense is terrible lately, like other than Diggs.
His yards per carry are pretty good this year, but I don't know. I feel like they need to give him the ball more, but they obviously go that way.
Cook hit a couple of big runs. I think that spikes that number, but
it does.
OD wants to know, wait on Eli Mitchell or start Donta Foreman?
Foreman. I don't care if Eli Mitchell or it doesn't matter the situation for that unless Jordan Mason and Christian McCaffrey are labeled out. It's Deontay Foreman for me.
I mean, I don't know. If I knew CMC was out, I'd probably go Eli Mitchell here, but it's Deontay. Foreman.
Yeah, I would go Foreman over Mitchell even with McCaffrey out because I think Mason's going to be the lead guy if that happens, but I like Foreman a lot this week.
Murray or Moss for Gabriel? Sully.
This is Lat Murray against Zach Moss?
I'm assuming so.
I think I'm Zach Moss here. I don't love it, but I think I am. Especially PPR.
I am going to go with Zach Moss as well, thinking Gardner Minshew checks it down to him 8 to 10 times again like he did last week.
For me, it's Murray on this one. Moss is probably going to continue being involved, but again, we know that matchup's not very good, and Murray continuing to get more and more touches with Harris out. I assume he gets even more, so I'll stick with Murray on this one. Julio Jones scores a TD today. You can book it.
I hope so.
Parker Moran says Godwin or Curtis Samuel. Bryce.
I would like to look at usage real quick for this, but we're kind of behind. I will go with the hot hand in Curtis Samuel. He's being utilized as the kind of their number 2 option for Sam Howell. He's utilizing the quick pass game. Gets a lot of looks in the red zone. Has been scoring touchdowns lately, so I'll go with Curtis. I'll go with Curtis Samuel. I think he's always been a pretty good talent in the NFL. Just maybe hasn't had the health or the situation to show it off like he is right now. Sorry.
Curtis Samuel is what I wanted Jahan Dotson to be and who I thought he was going to be, but he's not. Chris Godwin is going to play predominantly in the slot, and that's where you beat Atlanta. But I'm going to go with Curtis Samuel because I just think he's got his quarterback's struts, and it feels like he scores every week. So Samuel for me.
See, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be Godwin. Yeah, I'm Godwin on this one.
I can't fight you on that one.
Apes says pick 2: Taylor, Moss, Freeman, Henderson, Murray, Reynolds, McKinnon. We need 2 of these.
I don't want to start both the Colts, but I might.
I was thinking this. I was looking at it thinking the same thing, but I'm not. I'm going Jonathan Taylor and Latavius Murray.
And I'm going to go Zach Moss and Latavius Murray. I can't. I know it's stupid, but it's I'm hoping get people yell at me because I was so wrong about sitting Jonathan Taylor. That's why I'm doing it.
It's Jonathan Taylor and Latavius Murray for me. If Craig Reynolds practiced all weekend, was healthy, I probably would choose him as my number 2, but he didn't. So
so you guys are Taylor over Moss, hey, this week?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They were pretty even last week.
Dead split last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Taylor's going to continue to get more and more though. Like they didn't pay him for nothing.
I don't know. He also paid much money for an elephant. That guy's an idiot. So who knows?
Flowers or Deontay Johnson for Ray?
Flowers
for me.
Flowers for me as well. Adrian says Mike Evans or Tyler Lockett full PPR.
Lockett.
Evans.
I gotta look. Evans. It's gonna be Evans. I know. Just from looking at him.
I think I'm wrong. Yeah, I'm changing. Yeah, it's Evans. My apologies. I keep thinking DK's out, but he's not out.
It's more important to be fluid with your fantasy takes than anything else.
I don't know if I'm fluid or not. I'm wrong a lot.
You were definitely fluid right there. You were definitely fluid.
You've changed the answer a couple times today. You're probably more fluid than us.
Yeah, I'm probably the most bullheaded out of us.
I'm a Vikings fan. We just take what we get, man.
You all those tears just help you remain fluid, huh?
Maybe next year.
Ape says Luke Musgrave or Michael Mayer. We got a couple rookie tight ends here going head to head. Rookie tight ends have been impressive this year. So which one are you going with here, Sully? You going with Musgrave or are you going with the guy that's coming on now, Mayer?
I'm going to go with Musgrave because I think Mayer's coming on as Adams has been working his way back from that shoulder, and I think that takes a turn here. Plus, I think Luke Musgrave's just a more athletic, better tight end. So, Musgrave for me.
It's Musgrave for me, but I think Michael Mayer is going to end up having the better career. I liked him the most coming out, and now he's starting to get the usage. I think it was just learning the offense for him. But it's still Luke Musgraves for now, especially with the quarterback situation in Vegas.
I'm going Mayer. I like what he's done the past 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, he started off hot and then didn't get a bunch the rest of the game, but they really have 2 options in the or 3 options in the passing game there, right? It's Adams, it's
4, and Jacobs.
I mean, I'm talking about out of the receiving options.
Yeah, 3 for sure, because Hunter Renfro's invisible.
Yeah, so I'm going Mayer there. He was my number 1 tight end of the class too. Obviously, Laporta has started out way faster. But I do like Musgrave. Musgrave has looked good early in his career as well. Zach Evans, waiver wire pickup owner here. Do I trust McVay as the dirty little liar he is, or do I pivot to Gus Edwards or Craig Reynolds? I'm starting Edwards or Reynolds over Evans this week. I just don't think Evans is the guy.
I would start Gus Edwards over Evans, but not over Reynolds. Reynolds is banged up in it.
Oh, his audio cut. I'll go with Craig Reynolds as well, which I know he was about to go towards because the usage could be similar to David Montgomery in the red zone. Wouldn't surprise me. But Gus Edwards' floor this whole season has been 3 or 4 or 5 points. Craig Reynolds could easily get that if he gets 2 goal line touches that they usually don't give to Jahmyr Gibbs for whatever reason.
Yeah, but it's not. What about Evans? Evans is the waiver wire pickup. So are you starting both of those guys over Evans?
Oh yeah, easily. Didn't they just mentioned that Zach Evans is the 3rd stringer behind 2 guys. 2 old slow guys they just brought in. That's not good. That right there indicates that Zach Evans doesn't know the offense. That's what I'm perceiving that as, because he's obviously probably more talented than these guys, I would guess. Or he wouldn't be rostered. Or he wouldn't be rostered. Like, why would he be rostered if he's not more talented?
Well, because he's younger.
Well, yeah, which usually means he's more talented at this point.
No, I don't think that's necessarily what it means. He's probably got more upside, but you can get the Darrell Henderson, Royce Freeman quality running backs at any time off of the waiver wire, right? Or out of free agency. Like, there's other guys out there right now that are that level. You don't have to have them on your roster. You can take shots on young guys. If he was better, then he would be getting all the touches ahead of them. And in my opinion, we'd be acting like we did for Amari DiMercado last week. Maybe we'll just learn some lessons, huh? Sarah needs 2. James Cook, Brian Robinson, Javante Williams, or Jeff Wilson, half PPR. So we've got Cook, Robinson, Javante, Jeff Wilson. Which 2 are you playing here out of those 4?
Brian Robinson jumps out to me as the number 1 because I expect him to get easily the most touches out of all these guys. Number 2, Jeff Wilson and Javante Williams. I really just don't like their use. I don't know about Jeff Wilson's usage. Javante's usage has been less than it should be. I know we've talked down on James Cook, but even when he's in, he gets a lot of touches still. So I'll go with James Cook and Brian Robinson here.
I mean, I'm not a big James Cook fan, but it's still, for me, Brian Robinson and then James Cook sitting the other 2. So I'm on board with you. Mr. B says, Social, if the Steelers want to help their offense, Warren badly needs to get more touches.
Yeah.
Malachi says, start 1, Royce Freeman or Darrell Henderson Jr. I already know we're both going to go with Darrell Henderson Jr. here. Chad Warren says, what's up, guys? PPR, Jerome Ford or Aaron Jones? Concerned Jones is going to be on a significant snap count. And Tua versus Josh Allen. I'm going Aaron Jones. I'm not playing Ford over him. What about you?
Yeah, I'll go Aaron Jones here as well. The PPR work makes it kind of, because Jerome Ford's going to get more touches as a running back, but and probably in general, but Aaron Jones, the pass work, it's what, every 1 catch you've done the math equates to like 3 touches or something like that, or a little more when it comes to an actual rushing play. So, and then Josh Allen for me.
I've actually got Tua ahead of Josh Allen this week.
Yeah, I mean, in the past, the matchup would say otherwise, but the Eagles' secondary has been awful this year. I mean, I get it, but the rushing upside with Josh Allen, yeah,
just the whole offense upside with the Dolphins. Yeah. It's But like Tua, the offense had a good week last week. Tua only scored 22, but you would expect when you see that score for the quarterback to have more fantasy points than that. So I wouldn't argue against Josh Allen, but I've got Tua ahead. They just increased Henderson's predicted scores from 3.5 to 7.8, and Freeman still stayed at 8.3. Just happened. I don't know who you're referring to, but those are projections. People don't really understand how projections work. Those are like median projections, but every player has a higher range or a different range of outcomes. So while 7.8 might be his median, he may have a 0 floor, whereas the guy with an 8.3 has a 4 floor, but only a 12 ceiling. So, that's how projections work.
We have a super chat.
Okay, go ahead. We're on it.
It's actually just a little thank you
from Big Boss Production. Hey, thank you for showing up every stream. You're always around chatting it up. We appreciate you a ton. We appreciate you trying to spread the word about RotoHeat until Yahoo said no. So thank you very, very much. We appreciate that. Mr. B says, if you're starting your Rams running back this week, you are either brave or desperate. It's the
probably worst, desperate.
It's the worst bye week of the year. There's a bunch of injuries. People are definitely desperate, and you're going to see Rams running back started in every fantasy league, most likely. At least everything that's 10, 12 teams or more. We answered that one. DJ Moore or Christian Watson?
Matchup will tell you Christian Watson, but it's still DJ Moore for me.
DJ Moore for me as well. DJ Moore or Deontay? We already had this one, right? We said DJ Moore over Deontay?
Yes.
Yep. So DJ Moore over Deontay. Do we start Algier or Henderson? He has Bijan starting. This is Mateo. Needs some help here.
Yeah, it's never really fun to start two running backs from the same team, but I still think you got to go with Algier here. I need some clarity before I start any of these, till I feel comfortable starting any of these Rams running back. I know that this week might put you in a bind, but start Algier and Bijan. Hope one of them or both of them falls in the end zone.
Man, this is tough.
I'd like to see Algier get traded.
I would too. I would love to see Algier on another team. I think he's good too. Man, this is what do I my rankings don't even reflect all the news we've got about the Rams backfield and stuff, so I can't really even go there. I'm gonna go Algier here as well. I don't love it, but I'm going Algier. Where are you going, Sully? Algier or Henderson? He can't hear us. We're going to move on to the next one. Cap says, thanks, bros. I'm confident now. You are welcome. Michael says, thoughts on defensive flex, Packers, Tampa, or Seahawks? I have Seahawks the highest out of all these, I believe. And what do we have? Seahawks, Packers, Tampa. Yes. Seahawks. Robert Christensen says, need 3 PPR upside: Sutton, Judy, London, Dobbs, Rice, JSN. I played Ridley against D. Smith, Tyreek Hill, and Lockett.
So he's against Smith, Tyreek Hill, and Lockett.
So he needs upside.
Ouch. If DK Metcalf is out, I would honestly be okay starting JSN here. I would imagine his targets could potentially double.
That's a 4:00 game, right? So
yeah. So, I mean,
I don't know what time everybody else plays, but
yeah, you think Romeo Dobbs could have some upside today against the Denver defense. So I probably put him in. I'm going to put in London because he could easily put in a touchdown or two. He gets the majority of the targets at the wide receiver. I don't even know if any of the other wide receivers get targets. London, Doubs, and Sutton. Sutton's also got 2 touchdown upside. I just traded James Cook in the Grand Prix.
Oh, I seen trade come through. That's what I was looking at. Need 3 PPR upside. So here's my thing, right? London and Dobbs, I think, are my top 2 here. I think I throw in either, you pick your poison between Sutton and Judy, and then if they play at 4, right?
That's what I'm looking at right now.
I put in one of them, and then if DK is ruled out, I put JSN in over them and go with London, Dobbs, and JSN. I think that's what I would do.
They are at 4, yes.
That's what I would do. I would play London, Dobbs as my top 2, and then I would put in one of the Broncos receivers, pick your poison. And then if DK is out, sub in JSN for them.
I will agree with that.
I will also. Glad to be back.
Look at that. He goes, he resets, and then comes back.
He had to feed the hamster. He had to feed the hamster.
You know what? Just to go on a bit of a rant, I live in an effing country that doesn't even have functioning internet. Like, what the hell? Anyway, back to the program.
Kittle, Mayer, or Musgrave at tight end this week. We're all going to go Kittle with Debo out, right?
Yeah, easily.
Yep.
He also has downs in that with Judy, Sutton, all them. I'm still doing the same thing.
Not this week.
Roman says, what's up, fellas? 12-man full PPR, need a flex. Naji, Gabriel Davis, or London or Musgrave?
London for me.
I'm on the wrong tab, so that helps.
It's not Naji, it's not Musgrave.
I have London 45. Naji 81. It's London for me.
Yeah, it's London for me. We're going to see Taylor Heineke take over here soon, though, which is going to be really good for Drake London. But it's close between London and Gabe Davis for me.
Cap for Life says, crap, last one. Do I pick up Musgrave and drop my handcuff Tank Bigsby? Kittle has a bye next week.
Yes.
Yes. Ooh. Rochita says Hawkinson or Laporta?
Hawkinson for me.
Hawkinson for me as well. The Ravens ranked number 1 against tight end this year. Good to note.
It's Hawkinson for me, but they're close.
I'm considering Waller over Laporta this week, and it kind of makes me sick.
Big Boss says, I have a few options at flex this week I can start. Metcalf if he plays. Waller. He has Andrews as a tight end. Rice, Samuel from Washington, or Dillon. Of course, Madison, but not against 49ers. So Dillon's out for me. I'd much rather start Samuel than Dillon.
I think I start DK if he plays, but if he doesn't, I go with Curtis Samuel.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I agree.
Watson cleared to play. Deshaun, he was cleared to play 2 weeks ago and decided not to himself. So, who knows?
I guess he decided to play this week. When
Rochita,
they lose, do they go back to PJ Walker?
Rochita says Keenan Allen, Stephon Diggs, Josh Jacobs. We need to sit one of those 3. Which one are you sitting? It's Josh Jacobs for me, but this is crazy that you have these options.
Rochita, I am not sitting any one of those 3.
Might have to.
You have to pick one. Quit taking.
He might be in an 8-manner.
I'm sitting
Josh Jacobs.
This is nuts. There's not a league format that I'm aware of where I'm sitting Josh Jacobs, Stephon Diggs, or Keenan Allen. They're all in my top 12 overall, I think.
Actually, I'm getting ready to look. Jacobs is well, I've got him at 20 myself, but yeah, all of them top 20. But I have Diggs and Allen as 4 and 6, so there's a pretty big difference.
Diggs at 3, Allen at 4, Jacobs at 13. I'm not sitting any of those guys.
Brady says pick 3: Evans, Diggs, Watson, Pittman, Deontay Johnson. Which one should sit on the bench? So, see, Brady, you make this confusing. Pick 3 or pick 1 to sit. Let's pick 1 to sit.
It would be pick 2 to sit. It gives us 5 names.
Oh yeah, pick 2.
Good thing
I'm sitting Watson
and Deontay Johnson. Those are my sits.
I'm sitting Pittman and DJ.
You're starting Christian Watson over Pittman and DJ?
This week I am. DJ, I don't fully trust him yet, and Pittman is just in really tough this week.
Christian Watson is so far put up at least 10 points in his 2 games back.
And it is Denver, guys.
But he could pull Surtain all day.
What has that done? I'd like to know how receivers against Surtain have done so far this year.
But I think maybe let's see receivers of his caliber have done against Surtain. I bet it wouldn't be that good. I'm starting
he was the first
Foreman
one
over Christian Watson today.
I don't think Surtain's shutting down much this year. Plays on the worst defense in football history. And he's good.
He shuts down whoever he's on that play. I don't know what the numbers look like overall, but Surtain's pretty good.
I'm just gonna look at stuff. You guys go.
But like we talked about last week, most of these cornerbacks aren't on one guy the entire game. So
yeah,
that's true. Watson was easily the first one that I was sitting though, and then I think I'm gonna sit Deontay, start Evans, Diggs, and Pittman. Sant says thoughts on trading Amari and Kamara for Justin Jefferson and Gibbs. I have a 5-1 record. So with 5-1, are you going to trade Amari Cooper and Alvin Kamara to acquire Justin Jefferson and Jahmyr Gibbs? Bryce.
If this is a redraft question, I imagine it has to be.
Assume they're all redraft unless they say different.
Honestly, I think I would rather keep Amari Cooper and Alvin Kamara in a redraft format than Justin Jefferson and Jahmyr Gibbs.
If I'm getting the Justin Jefferson and Gibbs side of this trade, I'm going to make it 8 days a week.
My issue with this is we are in week 7. Jefferson, we don't know how long he's going to be out, but he's out until at least week 12 is the first week he can come back.
At least, yeah.
At least. So if he is out for, the 6 week stretch,
he could be back in week 10. He missed week 6. This is week 7, 8, 9. That's 4 games. He could be back in week 10.
Could is the key.
In a redraft, I just don't feel comfortable starting Jahmyr Gibbs when David Montgomery's healthy. So I feel way better having 2 players in my lineup that I'm starting with Amari Cooper and Kamara than one and Justin Jefferson. It also depends on who you're replacing players with. Some more context could make a difference. But in a vacuum, Alvin Kamara is a top 4 running back in redraft, maybe top 3. Number 1, not number 1 with McCaffrey, but maybe number 2 moving forward.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Like if we knew, and we know how these hamstrings go, if we knew how long Jefferson was going to be out, for sure
he'll be back week 12 at the latest, based on everything that I've seen and read. So I guess then take it to 6 weeks and pretend it's week 12. That makes this a little bit harder for me. But man, I just think Jahmyr Gibbs is about to take the next step. And Justin Jefferson, when he's on the field, is better than anybody. So I if I'm 5-1, I like it.
I mean, if you want to gamble, but Vikings are not going to rush Jefferson back unless they get back into the playoff race, right? Like there's just no reason to with a hamstring.
Right.
So that's what really scares me, is that the Vikings are getting out of playoff race. And if that happens, then there's no reason to rush Jefferson back. And if he misses one playoff game for you, then that's big trouble, right? So That's what scares me with getting Jefferson. If he had this injury in week 3, then I think it's a complete different thing. But people miss 2 months for hamstrings often, right? How long was Cooper Kupp sidelined? It was almost 2 months, wasn't it?
Yeah, you re-aggravated it, but you're not wrong. Like, I think if you injure your hamstring and you can heal and get healthy, you're in that 2 to 4 week range, depending on the grade of the hamstring injury. Jefferson's is apparently low. So everything they've said is that they've just been off. They're already being super cautious with him by putting him on IR. I don't even think you need to go on IR. But again, I'm not a doctor. I'm an optimistic Vikings fan. So
what? You have 19 personalities as a Vikings fan.
I don't. I'm optimistic about the player. I don't think they're a playoff team, and I don't think they're overly good. But
no. You just said I'm an
situation.
Optimistic Vikings fan after earlier how you were completely the opposite at the beginning of the show.
I'm a realistic Vikings fan. I'm optimistic about Jefferson, and I'm optimistic about the Vikings offense. It's the defense that hurts.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it. I'm fine. If you're willing to take the gamble, like it could win you or lose you the championship going after Justin Jefferson and Gibbs here, with the other two healthy and playing, it could go either way. It could lose it for you. It could win it for you. Where Amari and Kamara probably don't do either of those for you. But they're, again, the safe plays in this option.
If Amari is by chance your wide receiver 3, then I'm 100% doing this. So to Bryce's point earlier, it'd be nice to see the rest of the roster just so, like if Amari Cooper's your wide receiver 1 on your roster right now, I'd be less interested in doing it because you got to wait.
When will we know if DK plays? It'll be about 3:00 Eastern time, right in that range.
Usually about 90 minutes before they kick off.
Start 1, Quentin Johnston. No, never, ever. Sorry. I don't mean to be rude, Jonathan. You've been around long enough. You know I don't like Quentin Johnston. Kendrick Bourne, Elijah Moore, Michael Wilson, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. Also, which kicker? Carlson, Sly, or Gay? Sully, where are you going with this one? Start one of those receivers.
Did the Chargers forget they took Quentin Johnston in round 1? Just wondering about that.
No, I can tell you they found out what I told them before they drafted him. He's not that good.
You should be in their scouting room. With Deshaun Watson back, I'll take a flyer on Elijah Moore, and pulling up my ever so accurate kicker rankings. I think it's Carlson for me.
Why did my defense? Oh,
I'll default to whatever you guys say for kicker because I don't have a clue. I don't even know some of these guys play for and or who they play.
To be clear, I don't have a clue either, but I ranked them.
Yeah, I just I draft a kicker and start him every week, and when they're on their bye, I pick up another guy and start him until maybe he has his bye or the rest of the year. With Deshaun Watson back, it's Elijah Moore for me than Kendrick Bourne and us. Then a significant gap between the rest. This could be Jackson Smith and Jigba, but we won't be able to hear the news in time for it. So you got to start Elijah Moore.
Cleveland plays at 1.
I believe so. I thought I saw they did.
They do.
Okay.
Yeah. And so do the Patriots and Bills.
Is Arizona at 4?
They are, yes.
I guess I'm pretty sure DK is going to play, so that's probably not the way to go. But I was thinking to put Michael Wilson in, and then if DK is out, go with JSN. I don't think there's a lot of separation with any of these guys. I probably do that. I probably go Michael Wilson, and then if DK is out, Jackson Smith and Jigba. And then I'm going Joey Sly at kicker. Mark says PPR need 3: Cortland Sutton, Michael Pittman, Jordan Addison, Terry McLaurin, George Pickens. Thank you. Have a great day and good luck. So pick 3: Sutton, Pittman, Addison, McLaurin, Pickens. Sully.
Pittman, Addison, McLaurin?
Yep.
That's where I'm at.
Pittman, Addison, McLaurin.
All three of us on the same page on a pick 3. That's weird.
That don't happen often.
Pierre DeCoste says, start 2, Devonta Smith, Chris Godwin, DJ Moore. Smith and Moore for me.
Yep.
Smith and Moore.
Ooh, we're on a roll. Let's go.
Oh my gosh. What is going on? Somebody check the sky. Is it falling? Start 1 flex. Marquise Brown, Pittman, Gibbs.
Gibbs for me. Come on, boys. Keep her going.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to on this one.
I don't know. I'll go with Gibbs.
I'm going Marquise Brown. I have him as a top 30 option. I don't think I'm going to have Gibbs that high. Where did I have Gibbs? Oh my gosh. I do have Gibbs higher. I did not expect that. Yeah, I'm Gibbs too. Look at that.
3 for 3. Let's go.
Oh my gosh. Komet or Logan Thomas? Half PPR.
Oh, I got to look at my rankings. Why don't you guys go first this time? I think I know what I'm doing.
I'll go with Logan Thomas on this one.
I'm Komet. Ball out in a hurry again, right? I think that's what they got to do.
I have Komet at 71 and Logan Thomas at 78. So I am Komet over Thomas, and the streak is broken.
Way to go, Bryce.
Sorry.
Somebody's got to be wrong at some point, so it might as well be Bryce.
That's
right?
fair. That is fair.
Oh.
That's fair.
We need to pick 2 for AJ. We got Naji, Gus, Ingram, Freeman, Henderson. I'm going Naji, and I don't remember. Did we go Edwards or Henderson earlier?
I think we went. Well, no, it was Edwards and Freeman earlier, and we were all Edwards. But I don't think we've had Edwards and Henderson.
Oh, okay. Over Freeman. Okay, so I'm going Henderson and Naji, I think, here.
I will go Naji and Henderson on this one.
I will as well. Good luck, man.
Oh my gosh, starting another streak. Start Zeke over Rams running backs in PPR.
Not over Henderson.
I'll start Henderson before Zeke.
This game could be a blowout, and Zeke could get a lot of garbage time touches, to be honest. I'll go
Zeke had a nice 80-yard receiving touchdown call back, hey? He looked good on that play.
He's actually looked – I feel like the less workload has been good for him. He's actually looked relatively explosive with the limited amount of touches that he's getting. So
that's a really good one in 5 football club over there.
I mean, he could easily get the same amount of touches that the number 1 Rams running back gets today. Obviously, that wouldn't translate as well, but he's been getting used in the pass game a decent amount. So I'll go with Zeke, but it's close.
I hate that visor.
TJ Moore, Jordan Addison, PPR.
More
for me as well. Joseph J. Sully, we've agreed on everything for like the last 10 minutes, which is just freaking
Sorry,
weird.
brother. Sorry.
Yeah, it's going to be very unusual for me to be wrong so many times. Cortland Sutton, Josh. I'm kidding. Cortland Sutton, Josh Downs, Joshua Palmer for wide receiver 2. Which one you going with, Sully? You're going with Palmer, aren't you?
I am.
Mine
so
too.
Are you?
Yep.
What are you doing?
It's hard for me. It's hard for me to.
Quarterback and situation, right? That's what this comes down to for me. Quarterback and situation. Better quarterback, better situation.
It's not a primetime game for Russ, so that's good.
Their offense has not been nearly as bad as everybody make it out to be either.
Except last week.
Last week was bad, but every team has bad weeks. I mean, we just saw the Chiefs not. We've seen the Chiefs multiple times not do what we think.
Patriots have had 5 bad weeks this year.
Let's quit talking about the freaking Patriots.
They have. No, the first week was actually decent, but it's
all downhill from there.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, Russ has actually been pretty good this year. Like they put his stats right up next to Mahomes, and pretty much dead even this year.
Yeah, it hasn't been as bad. And
you give Mahomes, Sutton, and Judy, and tell me that's going to be the same story.
I still. I
don't know if
I still think Justin Herbert's one of the most overrated quarterbacks in the NFL right now, too. So
I think he's like Dak Prescott, to be honest.
Oh my God!
Look,
so much for the agreement. So much for the agreement in the street.
Dig into the numbers, baby. Dig into the numbers. I'm going Sutton over Palmer here. Dino Butt says full PPR, JT or Amari. So you playing Cooper or you playing JT in a full PPR? Bryce, you're thinking real hard.
Yeah, this one sucks. The matchup makes me want to choose Amari Cooper. So I will.
That's Amari Cooper for me.
I'm going JT.
I don't hate it.
Big Boz says, I agree. Algier should be traded before he ends up like Kareem Hunt, a great running back and a shadow of a chub. Look at that jokes. Juan Pena says, who for my wide receiver 1 and 2 in flex spot? Lockett, Myers, Cooper, Samuel, Dobbs, Mason, Dillon. I'm going Lockett, Myers, Cooper. Right in a row.
Yep.
I think so. Man, I want to get
Myers,
Curtis
Cooper,
Samuel.
Lockett, order.
I want to get Curtis Samuel in there somehow, but I don't think I can. I'll go with the first 3 as well. And the same order as Bryce.
League should just let you choose Rams backfield as an option at running back today. It's that bad.
You guys ever play in a team quarterback league before?
I think I did like one year or something, but yeah, that's not good.
It sucks. So I wouldn't want to do that. Anyway.
Juan says, for my second league, I got 2 flexes and 3 wide receiver spots. I got Metcalf, Samuel, Deontay Johnson, Josh Downs, Jaylen Warren, Algier, and Atwell. So we need 3 wide receivers and 2 flex spots.
So the 3 wide receivers, if he plays, are DK, Samuel, and DJ.
So do we have a 4 o'clock option outside of him at wide receiver?
I'll tell you in 2 seconds.
The Rams play at 4, don't they?
The Rams play at 4.
Okay.
Tutu's been a ghost, though, since Cup came back.
But it might be worth the risk. What about the Colts? Are they 1 o'clock?
No. I'm sorry. Yes, they are.
Yeah, they are. You couldn't pivot to Josh Downs if you do put in Metcalf. And I was trying to look up Metcalf while we were talking there, and he's like truly an up in the air. Like there's no trending, not like trending one way or the other. He's literally like a 50-50.
If I had to bet, I say he plays.
Yeah, usually when they're like 50-50, they play more often than not. I would guess has been the thing, because usually they'll be like, they're not trending in the right direction. We hear that way earlier.
And I was listening to a guy who used to be he was on medical staff for, I think it was the Ravens, and he said there's no such thing as a game time decision. He goes, teams know what they're going to do. They just cover it. So if the player aggravates what's bothering them in warm up, then they won't go. So I think DK goes. So it's Metcalf, Samuel, and DJ as my 3 wide receivers. I'm flexing Jaylen Warren, and I'm flexing Tyler Algier, I guess. I just don't think he does anything in that game. That defense is so good.
Metcalf, Samuel, Johnson, Algier, and Josh Downs for me.
You're sitting Warren over Algier?
Josh Downs been pretty decent this year. Like not terrible. Half his games are 10 plus. He hasn't scored under 5, which I guess is at least not a god awful floor of 0. So I'll go with Josh Downs and Jaylen Warren. I'm sitting Algier.
I'll go Warren over Algier. This was a lot of names, and I got confused for a second. I almost started Atwell. No. JSN or Sutton?
You can make this. You can make this decision based on the DK Metcalf news, which is nice. So if DK's out, I'll go with JSN.
Agree. Sutton if Metcalf is playing, JSN if he's not.
Yep, same. I agree. Would you drop Mason for Hunt? No.
Especially this week. Don't do that.
Yeah. Mason might be the most valuable handcuff.
And Hunt might not play.
Yeah, I don't know about Mason being. I think Elijah Mitchell is going to be, if he's healthy, he's going to be very active in that backfield as well. If CMC's out, but I would start if CMC's out. I would start both Elijah Mitchell and Mason if the opportunity arose. So Purdy over Herbert? Question mark. Well, most overrated quarterback. Now he's getting Purdied.
Not a chance.
He's not an overrated fantasy quarterback, at least.
I'm going Herbert.
Yeah, I'm going Herbert as well. Even
I do have Herbert.
Would tell you, Purdy is supposed to put up more than Herbert, but not the talent.
I do have Herbert 6th in fantasy and Brock Purdy 10th. So,
and Darnold might play the fourth quarter.
Well, that means Purdy probably scored a ton of points. So
that's the most optimistic Viking fan for you.
No, I mean, if that's the case, then give me Purdy. Yeah. If we think Purdy's only going to play 3 quarters, I'll take Purdy over Herbert this week.
It could be 21-3 entering the fourth quarter. So, and it could be 2 rushing touchdowns in 1. Anyway, it's Herbert unless there's an alternate universe somewhere I don't know about.
Aaron Jones or Pacheco, Goddard or Laporta. So let's go with the running backs first. Which one are you playing? Aaron Jones or Pacheco? Sully.
Aaron Jones for me. I figure if they're going to put him in there and he's finally back, I'm gonna go with him.
Yeah, Aaron Jones. Pacheco has been a nice flex option this year so far, though. And then it's Goddard for me.
It's Laporta for me, but it's very close. Both of those tight ends are incredibly viable options. Don't really know what Eagles week you'll get, right? Like Devonta Smith might be a little bit more relevant this week. Like you can't feed all 3 of those guys on a weekly basis. So we've seen Goddard come on as Smith got hurt and fell off, but I have a feeling that might flip around a little bit. That's going to be one fun football game this week, though, I think.
Aaron Jones and man, I don't know what I've got here. I got to look. I got Laporta ahead. I'm going Laporta.
Yeah, they're back to back in mine with Laporta.
They're close. They're 46 and 49 for me. They're real close. Laura and Jim want to know in a PPR, they need 2 wide receivers and a flex. Davante, Moore, Osborne, Warren, and McLaughlin. So we need 2 wide receivers and a flex. So I'm going KJ Osborne and Davante.
Agree.
Is that what everybody's doing at the receiver spot here? Sitting Rondell Moore? Yes. And then I'm going Jaylen Warren over McLaughlin.
Agree.
Yeah, for the flex. Yep, I'll go Jaylen Warren.
Jacob says, should I start Rashee Rice or Josh Downs McLaurin? I mean, I've got McLaurin ahead of these guys by a decent amount.
Terry for me.
Yeah, scary Terry. The way it was asked is kind of was confusing me for a second, but yep, scary Terry.
How do you rank them? I rank McLaurin, Downs, Rice.
McLaurin, Rice, Downs.
Yeah, I'll probably do McLaurin, Rice, Downs. Just a touchdown upside on Rashee Rice. It gives the edge to him over Josh Downs for me.
Cleveland Browns are giving up 14 PPR points a week to the entire wide receiver position this season.
I just think Mecole Hardman messes up everything we thought we knew, and we didn't know much about this Chiefs wide receiver group.
I think Mecole Hardman is definitely underrated. Last year, before he got hurt, he was almost a double-digit a week PPR player. So I think there's a lot to that. But they have no wide receivers. So I think there's room for Rice and McLaurin. And McLaurin isn't Tyreek Hill. So yeah, I think McLaurin helps, if anything.
The problem is it's not consolidated. They throw to everybody. They'll throw to, if you were out there running routes, you're probably going to get a target. That's my issue with the Chiefs, is that we don't know where it's going to go. None of them have been like the target leader. And that's what's so hard about that offense, is that it's so spread around.
Watson's out too, though, so that helps Rice. Like if someone's going to stretch that field in that offense, it's Rice, isn't it?
Well,
like it was Justin Watson. I don't think McCole Hardman's going to. He never has been that guy.
I don't know. It's just tough for me with that offense, but it's McLaurin easily. But anyway, that
just start Kelsey.
Way more than I anticipated. Trigger Figure says flex 1, Laporta, White, Lat Murray. I have White at 52. Murray's not that high. I have Laporta ahead, but I think I'm going White here.
White's been horrible this year, hey?
I mean, he's a running back too.
I'll go with Rachaad White. He gets utilized in the pass game at least.
Against my better judgment, I'll do the same.
I don't know. Now you're talking me out of it.
I need to look at his.
He has only scored. Logs. He has only scored
double digits once, right?
Twice.
No. If you let me finish, I'll tell you. He has only scored more than 10.8 one time. So he's double digits twice.
You got to also take into account his matchups against the defenses against the run have been decent. Minnesota's been decent against the running back. Philly's been good against the running back. Detroit has been really good against the running back. Today's no better with Atlanta. So he has to, and his only one matchup against a soft team against the running back is Chicago, and that's
Chicago's not even soft against the running back.
They're not.
They have been this year.
They're middle of the road. They're middle of the road with the Vikings.
They were damn near top 10 against the run going into last week.
That's why that game was so low scoring last week, because everybody tried to run and neither one of them could, and Vikings decided not to throw the football.
He got a bunch of catches in that Bears game that upped his score, but the Bears actually aren't bad against the run. They're
not at
terrible
all
against the pass.
Same as us.
Bears are ranked 29th against running backs in fantasy points this year.
Yeah, fantasy points, but look at real life NFL running defense.
Yeah.
Well, but I'm looking at this is fantasy questions. I'm looking at fantasy.
Sure.
Questions. So,
but he didn't run good, is what I'm saying. It was all pass. It was all pass.
That's fine. I mean, he could get that. That's the good thing.
That's not the point, though. I was just saying the Bears aren't bad against the run.
I said running back. I was saying against the running back. I don't. That was my. Yeah, they might be. He's
not a good runner at all. They do need to get.
He's a terrible runner. Get Sean Tucker going in that backfield.
Sean Tucker's getting outscored on a points per game basis by one Mr.
Yeah, I know. Hey,
what's his name?
Keyshawn
Vaughn. Elijah Moore, Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson for me fairly easily.
It's kind of close, but I'll go with Deontay Johnson.
It is kind of close. Gave me some pause, but I'll go with DJ as well. Wouldn't surprise me if either one is better than the other one.
Foreman, Flowers, or CMC Mason at flex. I'll just wait on CMC.
Yeah, if you got his backup.
If you got Mason, I'm just waiting.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to start Flowers, but I agree with you guys.
Which Longhorn should I start? Keontae Ingram or Deonta Foreman? I'm starting Foreman over Ingram.
Foreman.
Easily.
Mike Smith says Stafford, Watson, or should I start should I start Christian McCaffrey? If I have any option that can start and score maybe 2 points Monday night, I'm waiting for Christian McCaffrey since he practiced on Saturday. I'm going Stafford over Watson though.
I will go with Watson. The Indianapolis defense has given up the 26th most points to quarterbacks so far this fantasy season.
Sean Watson has been horrible, even when healthy. He's coming back off of a multi-week absence. He's self-proclaimed his rotator cuff will not be 100% this season. Matthew Stafford has two of the most electrifying pass-catching targets in the league today. I will take Matthew Stafford, and I don't see a reason why McCaffrey practiced even limited yesterday if he wasn't can at least try to play. So I think you start Christian McCaffrey. I'm going to in a guillotine league. So, and I have no safety net there. So
right.
It's it.
Zach Evans or Craig Reynolds? PPR. Desperate. Reynolds, if you're desperate.
This is Reynolds easily.
I think it has to be, like one of them is the second guy in the offense. The other guy is the third guy in the offense, apparently. So unless McVay is just smokescreening us all, which I don't think he is, Reynolds.
Malcolm says flex Javante Williams, Jordan Addison, or Gabe Davis.
I'm going to flex Addison in PPR and Javante in every other scoring format.
Javante's last on this list for me until I see him get more touches. Jordan Addison, then Gabe Davis, then Javante for me.
I'll $5 bet you Javante Williams over Gabe Davis.
I'll take Gabe Davis.
I'll take Gabe Davis for 5, and I don't even like Gabe Davis.
Another 10.
I really don't like him that either, but New England's got to try and stop Stephon Diggs.
Another 10.
Another $10 in the pocket of real U.S. greenback. I love it.
Oh no, we only pay 40% of whatever we bet. You didn't know that?
Well, if that's fine, but it's the other way around, dummy. I'm not giving you frickin' $1.40 for every dollar I lose.
I've not even got paid for the dollars I've won.
That's fair.
It's in the Excel sheet.
It's actually pretty close. But I do think
after this, but what about the last 2 years? Hey guys,
good morning. Before it's gone.
Previous year I paid.
Need help, London or Cooper?
London for me. Maybe not. Hang on.
It's Amari Cooper for me. If Taylor Heineke was a quarterback, it might be London.
Well, you didn't like London last week, and I did, and he had a nice game. So
I have Cooper
quarterback last week.
I have Cooper 42nd overall and London 45th overall. So it's Cooper by just a smidge for me.
Yeah, and looking at just my wide receiver rankings, I have Cooper at 26 and London at 29. So I'll stick with my rankings and say Cooper. I like Drake London. He's so good.
Joe also wants to know, Swift or Mostert? I mean, we can't not start Mostert, right?
Yeah, Mostert. Easily.
It's Mostert for me.
They're very close in my rankings, but Mostert, again, can do in one play what Swift might not do all game. So I can't not start him.
You made that sentence difficult.
This could have been Mostert's career if he didn't get hurt every year too, which is sad. Like he could have really had a friggin' phenomenal career if he didn't have season.
The best part is he couldn't even get on a team. He was a special teams player for how many years before somebody finally gave him a shot?
The same for him, yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the guy was switching from wide receiver to running back too, because he was a wide receiver in college. He wasn't even a running back, so he got a late start there too.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was a wide receiver at Purdue.
I had no idea.
Yep. Also at flex, pick one: Terry McLaurin, Jerome Ford, Devonta Smith. I'm going Devonta Smith here.
Devonta Smith for me. You really want to get any piece of that game today. That should be a fun game to watch. Eagles and Dolphins.
Smith, Ford, McLaurin for me, but I'll go Smith as well.
Trigger says Josh Metellus for Defensive Player of the Year. I have no idea.
I don't even know who that is.
Josh who?
Metellus? I don't know. Defense isn't our skill. Jazz says peace, love, and beers.
Is that fire?
Fire and beers.
Yeah. Fire love.
Beers. I love Jaws.
That's what you call Roto love right there. Or
he's one of the original, one of the OGs, man.
Should I trade Montgomery for Waddle? Yes.
Well, depends on your roster, but yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough.
Roster dependent and redraft, obviously. So, yeah.
Bryce is contractually obligated to pick Waddle, just so you know.
I picked him. I didn't pick him one week.
I know. I was very upset.
Mr. Scampers says, good morning, fellas. Good morning to you, Mr. Scampers. Then Jaws comes in with Deontay Foreman or Rashad White. And I'm going to take a break. I got to pee real bad after this one. I'm going Foreman over White.
I would go Foreman as well.
I don't even know if I have it ranked that way, but if I don't, I should change it because the more I dig into Rashad White, the less I like.
Right.
Fair enough. All right.
You can catch, you just can't run.
All right, I'll be right back.
All righty.
Bryce just kicked him out, hey? Beat it.
Get out, Rick.
Let me take over. I'm in.
Max Crosby is going to eat today, says Turbo Duran. Go Raiders and Josh McDaniels and Ziegler we trust. Listen, I think Josh McDaniels is one of those coaches that's maybe just better suited to be a coordinator and not a head coach. But
is Max Crosby underrated?
No, I think he's appropriately rated.
I think he might be one of the best defensive players in the league. And I'm not sure he's like kind of.
I think he gets every time like the Raiders play. I watch him a lot this year. Got a lot of Jacoby Myers and Davante Adams. I feel like they really highlight that dude a lot. So maybe they don't highlight him outside of their games, like the media doesn't. But yeah, he's a phenomenal player. That was the first season of Hard Knocks I ever watched too, and he's just a dude you just had to root for because.
Did you watch the quarterback show on Netflix with Mahomes?
I watched some of it. I didn't finish the whole thing.
There's some good Crosby Mahomes in-game banter. It's pretty good. I did
see that. Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, because Crosby tried to act like he didn't do anything wrong, but he definitely he's poking. Right? I like it because Crosby played like I did. Yeah, he played like I did. Obviously, in the sense of like trying to get in, like you're getting in people's head, but you're acting like you're not doing anything. I would try and do that too.
I like it.
It's always fun to do that. I mostly did it in rugby though. Puka or Christian Watson. This is Puka for me.
I think Puka bounces back. I think they both have a nice game this week, and I don't think you can go wrong either way. But I got Puka higher.
Yeah. Okay, Anthony. This used to be Anthony number 2 when Anthony. Oh my gosh. Leone and I did the stream together. We'd always have Anthony in here and then another one. So we had Anthony 2 and Anthony 3. So Anthony 2, well, you know what? He's promoted to Anthony number 1 now.
I was going to say, I got him ranked over Leone already. So
Aaron Jones or Brian Robinson in a full PPR. Who are you going with?
I have to look at my rankings. It's really close. Brian Robinson's in a really good spot this week. I do have Jones higher. Plays the Broncos. But, man, Brian Robinson's going to run all over that shitty Giants defense. Like, I think they're both really good. Aaron Jones, PPR, probably catches more passes than Brian Robinson. So, Jones for me.
Yeah, that's the caveat. I'm going to go with Brian Robinson. I know he doesn't necessarily get as many PPR opportunities as Aaron Jones. Is not nearly the big of the threat in that part of the game. But I expect him to get potentially over 20 touches today in full, where I could see maybe Aaron Jones getting closer to like 12 to 15. So yeah, I'll take that. I hope he falls into the end zone a time or two because they do like to try and punch that ball in when they get close enough.
And I think Robinson has like 78% of the Commanders' rushing carries this year. Like it's huge high.
He runs hard too. Like he bounces off some tough tackles.
He's way better than I thought he was.
Yeah, I did too. I thought he was going to be a bust in the NFL. He was not that impressive in Alabama, but maybe it's just the whole team wasn't, and it made him look worse than he was. Pick 2, James Cook, Jonathan Taylor, Jerome Ford, Jordan Addison, and pick up Marquise Brown.
Well, pick up Marquise Brown somehow.
Yeah. Definitely a shallow league.
Ford would be my 1 here, and I think Taylor. No, I'll go Ford and Cook. I was worried about Jonathan Taylor still.
I probably would pick up Brown and start Addison and Brown.
I don't think you want to start Addison over those guys against the Niners, do you?
I don't know. I mean, you got to imagine Kirk Cousins got to drop back and throw it 40-plus times, you would think.
I think they try to run like crazy. And I know they probably won't be very successful.
Yeah. The one weakness of the Niners is their secondary. Their secondary is really doesn't have anybody that impressive. Their front applying a lot of pressure makes them look better than they are. And, that's going to be a theme all year, and that's fine, but they just got to throw the ball a lot, and I imagine Jordan Addison gets a decent amount of targets. I mean, you can go, if Jonathan Taylor had a weaker matchup, I'd go with him.
I like the situation. I like Ford, and I know we talked about Cook losing work, but I just think Cook has a good chance to score today. I think the Bills can put up some points, so I'll go with those 2.
And it was PPR. Yucky, Mr. Scampers. He needs 1. Algier, Jeff Wilson, Craig Reynolds, or Rondale Moore. So we could probably take out Rondale Moore here pretty easy. Craig Reynolds, Jeff Wilson, or Tyler Algier.
I would have Rondale Moore over Tyler Algier, but I think you got to take the home run upside of Jeff Wilson here and just hope for the best. Algier hasn't done much outside of week 1.
Yeah, it's true. I don't like. They were both out for me. It'd come down to Jeff Wilson and Craig Reynolds for me. Yeah, I'll go with. I mean, both matchups aren't good for either of them, really. But what offense scores easiest? There's no offense you can say outside of Miami that does that. Where is Zach Moss this week for you? Looking at him in PPR versus Deontay Foreman or Gus Edwards, and watching him get points on my bench with JT active the last 2 weeks. Yeah, he got a lot of points last week because of all the freaking dump offs. That's how JT got all his as well. But are you starting Zach Moss over all these guys, Foreman and Edwards?
I'm just looking at my rankings, which I trust less and less all the time, by the way. I want to get Deontay Foreman in my lineup as much as I possibly can this week. So I think I would go Foreman, Moss, JT, Edwards if I was ranking these guys again, re-ranking.
Yeah. So we saw 2 weeks ago when Zach Moss had the huge week at an 80% snap percentage with Jonathan Taylor first game back, all the way down to 50% last week, dead even. I would imagine that we're going to see less than 50 again. We're going to see less than 50 this week coming up. So he moves down where Deontay Foreman could very much see every bit of 65% and up. So I will go Deontay Foreman. Tough matchup for the Colts as well, but we said that same thing when they played Tennessee.
Yeah, for me with Foreman, it just comes back to watching that Bears-Vikings game last week. And honestly, Foreman hit the hole hard, and he was tripped up. He had at least 240-plus to the house carries if he wasn't tripped up. And I think, I was kind of down on him last week, right? I was high on Madison, down on Foreman. And every time he caught the ball, I'm like, oh, I'm going to lose $5 because he was, running so good. But I got lucky. But, no, I want him in my lineups as much as I possibly can right now with I'm not worried about Travis Homer. I just think he's in such a good spot.
I actually have to start Evans in the league this week because I couldn't get anybody for running back. It's so bad. Yeah, I agree with what you said though. I'm starting Foreman here over these guys.
Geno Smith or Sam Howell? He's got Geno in. Just wanted to make sure. Reassurance.
I got Geno one spot ahead of Howell, but if DK sits for whatever, I don't think I can make that decision though, can I? I got to decide before.
Yeah, I think I'd still keep in Geno even if DK sits. I really don't think that it would really hurt his value as much as people think. I think it gives JSN a bigger opportunity, and I think he give him the opportunity to showcase his talent, which could be better than what it would be if DK was out there.
I just think it's more Ken Walker if DK sits, but I don't disagree.
Probably.
I have Geno one spot ahead of Howell as well. You and I have him in the same spot, 10 and 11.
10 and 11.
But just to give some notes, Fields is expected to miss 2 or 3 weeks. That was said this morning, and then I just got this one. All signs point to Christian McCaffrey playing Monday night at Minnesota, despite the fact that he is listed as questionable due to an oblique injury. So it looks like CMC is slated to play as of right now. So if that helps you with any of your decisions, I would be gambling on CMC and another touchdown for the 16th or 17th straight game, whatever it is.
He'll score twice.
Reese Thomas says Amari Cooper or Christian Watson. I'm going with Cooper here. Full PPR.
I'll also go Amari Cooper.
Back to back in my rankings. I love how these happen. I'll go with Amari Cooper as well.
I don't know so I have him 42nd overall, and then I have Watson 60th overall. So I don't know how that works out in my wide receiver.
I was just looking at just my positional, but I hear you.
Yeah, mine are different because you do yours on another site. I don't have my positional rankings like that. Okay, you guys win. You've convinced me to go Darrell Henderson over Freeman. Beers on me if you are right and I win. Hey, I'm sober, but I'm on my second orange ghost of the morning, so I'll take one of those.
Your heart's going to explode.
I'll take a beer.
Reese Thomas says Seahawks or Raiders. I have Seahawks.
I do as well. Rick, is Max Crosby underrated?
Yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah.
I guess I probably watched too much of him then, because I think he's appropriately rated. But I feel like he's rated as like a top 4 defensive or pass rusher in the league. So I guess that's.
He's just one of those guys that makes me say "wow" every time I watch him.
I think
he's awesome.
The thing is, I think if he played for another team that wasn't as bad as the Raiders, he would get he would be like league wide. Like people would think of him the same way they think of, Garrett in Cleveland or something like that. And I just don't think he gets that because he plays for the Raiders. I do have the Raiders at 7. I have, which one was this, Seattle? Yeah, Seahawks at 5. So they are close in my rankings. Hero you seen, Myers, London, or AJ Dillon, half PPR flex. This one's tough. It's between London and Myers for me, but
yeah, it's not tough for me. I'm going Myers.
London 45, Myers. Yeah, I have Myers 27th overall, so it's Myers for me as well.
Yeah, Myers is my 15th ranked wide receiver this week. London isn't, so I'll go with Myers. I don't know where London is. I can't see it. 28. There goes his heart.
There goes my heart.
There it goes.
McLaurin or Rasheed Rice. Hey, just to be clear, my morning started at 6 o'clock this morning, so it's not like it was since we started this stream, I've drank 2 of them. McLaurin or Rasheed Rice? McLaurin. I think we're all going to be on McLaurin here, right?
Yeah, Scary Terry.
Yeah, and I like Rasheed Rice, but I think we all need to temper our expectations just a wee bit.
Dino Butt says full PPR for flex spot, James Cook, Christian Watson, or Joshua Palmer. Sully.
It's between Palmer and Cook for me. I think I'll lean Palmer. I'm just a little bit concerned about Latavius Murray's role in that offense eating into Cook. So I'll go with Palmer. I just think he's got a hot hand and he looks good.
I'm going Cook.
This is tougher. I'm thinking about going Watson.
I
think I'm going to go Watson. I will say that James Cook would be last here for me, and they're all really close.
That's funny. He's first.
Watson's got the ceiling for me out of these guys. I feel like Palmer's got the floor.
I don't think so.
I think Cook scores. I think that's where I keep going back to.
It's got to be a big play, though. That's the problem about Cook scoring. It's got to be a big play.
Yeah, it's got to be from outside the 10 or 15, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'll go with Watson. I think he's got the ceiling, and Palmer's got the floor.
See, I don't think Palmer's got the floor. I think we're forgetting how good the Chiefs' defense has been this year.
Yeah, I think they're good. I think that hinders Keenan Allen more than Josh Palmer, though.
I don't. Keenan Allen's just way better.
Keenan Allen's Keenan Allen,
but
right?
he's got to be that focus. Okay, we stopped Keenan Allen and
Keenan
Eckler.
Allen's been the focus for 6 years when you face the Chargers, though.
The Chargers.
That's true.
For the Chiefs' defense, the corners are impressive to me. I think Keenan can eat in the middle of the field all day.
Yeah, so it's funny. We're all 3 different though. So there we go. We're not on the same page anymore.
I think we're going to be okay on this one though.
I'm Zay Flowers.
Yes.
Agree. Yep.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know you're nodding because we're on video, but there are probably people that are not looking at us, so make sure to get that.
How could they not be looking at us? Come on.
I mean, I've got 3 reasons.
I like when you are on a stream with Brad and he doesn't talk for 4 minutes and answers 3 questions.
So funny.
That's the best. I love it. I absolutely love it. I just laughed my ass off sitting at my house.
Yep. I'm like, dude, you got to talk. Nobody can hear the marbles. In a PPR, we need 2 wide receivers in the flex. We got Devonta Smith, Rondell Moore, KJ Osborne, Jaylen Warren. We already did this one, right? Pretty sure we've already had this one.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we did. So Laura and Jim, if you missed it, we do go in order, so you don't have to ask more than once. But if you missed it, we went Smith, Osborne, and Warren here.
Yes.
All 3 of us were on the same page on that one. Okay, we got Goddard or Kittle. I'm feeling we're all going Kittle here with Debo out, right?
Yeah. Kittle's my tight end too this week.
I'm going Goddard. I have him 2 spots higher.
So I have Goddard at 49 overall. You have him at 50 overall. And then Kittle. Oh, I guess I do have Kittle behind him, but I think I had this in.
That was pre-Debo though.
Yeah,
it was.
I'm going Debo. I'm going Kittle here.
I'd go Kittle if CMC wasn't going to play, but now that I think he's going to play, I'm going to stick with Goddard.
The Great Bambini says, Josh Allen been selling me out. Should I start Goff instead? I have Allen ahead of Goff this week, but it's only by like 1 spot probably.
What is Allen done wrong?
He's QB1 this year. He's only got 1 week under 20 points. So
I don't know.
Maybe just last week. Maybe he lost you last week. I'm assuming maybe. I don't know. He's QB. He's averaging QB1 points. So
it doesn't get any better than that. So no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Josh Allen.
Yeah, Josh.
Logan Thomas or Michael Mayer?
I love it. I love seeing Michael Mayer come up now.
So do I.
I was worried.
I
was so worried after like the first 3 weeks. I'm like, he's going to get in the field.
I mean, I wasn't that worried because it's just a rookie tight end. They're all different. But when you've seen Musgrave and you've seen Kincaid get a little bit of action, and Laporta literally be the number 1 through like 4 weeks, it was like, maybe times are changing.
Yeah.
But yes, I agree. But I'm going Logan Thomas here.
Yeah, it's Logan Thomas for me. But Mayer, if he keeps this trend up, he could be a guy we feel comfortable starting. Because it's ramping up the past 2 weeks. Hopefully, we can continue to see that trend.
Just so much of it's been early in the games, and then he's disappeared the second half, and that's the tough part. So I want to see him get some full games put together. Sorry, Sully, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No problem at all. I just think it coincides with Davante Adams' shoulder woes. So I think if Adams can come back and Mayer slides considerably further back. You got a backup quarterback situation going on there. You got Josh McDaniels, who I think is a good offensive coordinator, but a horrible offensive coordinator / head coach at the same time. Logan Thomas against the Giants. I think this one's easy for me.
Laughing Duck says, thoughts on Drake London in the flex? I think we all can agree on this one. We love having London as our flex in fantasy.
Solid flex option. Very solid.
Yeah,
100%.
Very, very good. Office Depot, man, what an account. It was Hardman stretching the field last year.
Was it? Okay.
Who else is tempted to start Darrell Henderson? Might do so over AJ. I would start Henderson over AJ Dillon. AJ Dillon's on poo sauce.
Not this week.
Yeah, I would start. I think I don't
Do
know.
we have an AJ Dillon bet yet?
You guys know when we scouted
I don't want any part of
AJ Dillon's class, I was one of the first ones to say, like, this dude is faster than he looks because he's big, and he catches the ball way better. But he's not doing any of those this year. So I'll go Darrell Henderson for a Rams offense that's not going to be afraid to give him the ball a lot because he's familiar. And we already know they're not afraid to give anybody the ball a lot because Puka was right out the gate was huge for them as a later round receiver that didn't have a lot of hype coming in to this whole thing. So I'll take Henderson over Dillon.
I'll take Dillon easily. Henderson will probably lead that backfield with 10 to 12 touches, which might be okay. 8 to 10. You know, the Steelers' secondary is soft, and Stafford's probably going to throw the ball 45 times today. So I just don't think they run the ball a lot. And they're not going to target Darrell Henderson because they never have in the passing game. And Dillon plays Denver. I'm telling you, I just think it's such a good spot for AJ Dillon. He looked a lot better last week. I think so.
Bryce.
Sure. Sure, I'll lean Darrell Henderson, but it's not by much. I think they're 50-50 for me. I don't have a problem either way. You guys want to bet Henderson versus Dillon yourselves?
No, I have lots of problems with both of these running backs.
Okay.
That's not where I'm
like
putting
that
my money, but
1 point to 2 point bet.
That's what when you were on the
we have too many of those already.
Sully and I talked about that. I can't remember what combo it was, but I'm like, dude, we've had way too many bets that ended like 4-3.
I think it was when I was trying to make it. I think I was trying to make an AJ Dillon bet earlier. So
it may have been an AJ Dillon versus somebody else. Cat says, I don't know what this means.
I'm going to go with respect, I think is an emoji.
I like it. I appreciate it. It says, nice. Good morning, y'all. Good morning to you too, Cat City. Jesus says, start 2, Metcalf, Flowers, or Hollywood. For me, I believe Flowers is actually...
I'd have Flowers at 1 in these. If I'm ranking these 3, it's Flowers, Metcalf, Hollywood, and obviously DK doesn't play, then it's Hollywood. And they play each other, so you've got some cushion there.
So I have Brown 1, Flowers 2, so that's where I'm going.
And with Hollywood playing Metcalf, if you're waiting on that decision, you'll be fine.
I think I'm sitting Metcalf if he plays or not.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Flowers and Hollywood. All these guys are kind of on that same tier, though.
Yeah, I have Hollywood 29th overall. I have Flowers 32nd overall, and Metcalf 37th overall. So they're all within 8 overall spots out of all the running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends. So they're all real close to me, but I have Flowers, Hollywood, ties.
You guys are right, because even if DK plays, he's a bit banged up. So I'll take a healthy Hollywood with Josh Dobbs, who's been a heck of a lot better than anybody thought he was going to be, and Flowers. You're right.
Morning, Office Depot. Good morning, fellas. From Freddie. Felt like I missed the last few live chats. Am I crazy for starting Foreman over Stevenson?
Yeah, that's a little crazy.
Yeah, I'm not starting. I'm not starting Foreman over Stevenson. Just traded for Stevenson actually in a league while we were on this stream.
I traded for Pony Pollard last night.
I traded James Cook for Ramondre Stevenson like 20 minutes ago.
Straight up?
Yeah.
That's a huge win.
Steal. That's a steal.
But if this was prior to last week, it'd be a conversation. But I think we finally saw Ramondre get back into it last week.
Down into the end zone.
He was 14.9, then 15, and then he didn't score more than 7.2 in 3 straight games with a 2.4 in week 5. But he bounced back with 18 last week. I'm going Ramondre over Foreman as well. Cat wants to know, Jeff Wilson over both Niner backups and Justice Hill, right? Can Ridley and Miles Sanders be dropped in 12-team formats?
To the first part of the question, with that assumption that CMC is going to play, yes, Jeff Wilson over all of those.
Yeah, stop there. Let's
okay, sorry.
We'll hit the second. Yeah, we'll hit the second.
I agree. Jeff Wilson for me. Jeff Wilson for me.
Yeah, I agree as well with Jeff Wilson. So that was pretty easy. So Sully, go ahead with what you were saying about the second part.
Can Ridley and Miles Sanders be dropped in 12-team formats? I am not dropping Ridley or Sanders with the world of running back landscape. So I would say no. I'm going to hold on to both of those guys unless I'm just absolutely loaded and there's something on no, I'm not. I was going to say unless it's an 8 or 10-team league, but it says 12. So no, not dropping those guys.
Yeah, I do still think Ridley's the most talented receiver on that team, but we're kind of seeing like that similar situation that we saw, I feel like, with Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs, where maybe the chemistry between Kirk and Lawrence is just too strong to overcome the maybe talent gap between Ridley and Kirk. So I think Kirk might be the more valuable wide receiver to have for the Jaguars, especially moving forward this year. So, but still, neither of those guys are droppable in a 12-man league. Right.
Yeah, and we may also see Ridley in that connection be better over the second half of the season as well.
Good.
Because I agree, he is the most talented receiver they've got, but
he's had some tough matchups recently, and they seem to shrink the field on him. Like they just throw to him on the boundary, and that's it. Like, let him run some other routes. Like, let this dude do what he can do. So I think it's poor play calling with him.
Santos says JSN, Elijah Moore, or Wan'Dale Robinson in the flex. I'm going Elijah Moore if we would have known DK was out, I would go JSN, but I'm going Elijah Moore.
I'm going to join you, but I think Wan'Dale's a really nice DFS play today. You got a ton of targets from Tyrod.
And only 60% snap percentage. I could see that going up because he is their best wide receiver. When he's on the field, like he just
easily.
Yeah.
That's not saying much.
That's what I was going to say. Take that with a grain of salt.
This is definitely take that with a grain of salt. And this is a really soft matchup. I'm actually going Wan'Dale Robinson. I've got him starting in some bye week situations and DFS lineups as well today.
I like it.
David wants to know Elijah Mitchell, Craig Reynolds, Jeff Mitchell. Wilson. I'm assuming Jeff Wilson.
Oh yeah, maybe Jeff Wilson
or Elijah Mitchell.
Please rank for this week. No, I already had Elijah Mitchell. Craig Reynolds.
Sorry.
Yeah, Jeff Wilson. I would imagine.
All the inactives and actives I'm distracted popping up.
So I'm going Jeff Wilson, Craig Reynolds, Elijah Mitchell.
Same.
Yeah.
Evan says Deontay Johnson or Rachaad White, full PPR. I'm going Deontay Johnson here.
Deontay Johnson for me.
Okay, then we've got Jordan Love or Sam Howell. This is Sam Howell for me.
It's Love for me.
This is Jordan Love for me.
And I like both those quarterbacks, so I wouldn't have a problem starting either one.
The Joker says full PPR pick one. We got Jacoby Myers, Jerome Ford, or Alexander Madison. It's Jacoby Myers for me.
Yep. Jacoby Myers for me. He's still got a expatriate quarterback throwing him the ball today. Got some rapport with him already.
For the first time all season, it's not Alexander Madison. It's Jacoby Myers for me.
He's last.
He's very last there, yes.
Very last. Christian Watson or Deontay Johnson. I'm going Deontay Johnson.
I'm going Christian Watson here.
I'll go Christian Watson here.
And then Aaron Jones or Pacheco. I'm pretty sure we had Aaron Jones versus Pacheco earlier, and we all went Aaron Jones, right?
I think so.
Especially if it's PPR, without a doubt for me.
Riley says, who do I start at flex in a full PPR? Chris Godwin, Scary Terry, Dallas Goedert, or Jay Smith?
Jonnu, assuming.
Oh, yeah. I was trying to figure out Jay Smith, Jonnu. I think it's going to be
Godwin and Terry, right? Terry. Yeah, I got to look too.
It's Terry for me.
Dude, I have Godwin 39 and Terry 40, so it's Godwin for me by the smallest of margins. Wouldn't argue against the other way because they're in the same tier.
I got Godwin one spot higher, so I'll go with Godwin.
Mark says Morning Palace, PPR League 3, George Pickens, Addison, Pittman, Sutton, McLaurin. Thanks. You are doing a great job. Have a great day. Mark, we really appreciate that. We love it. If you guys agree with him, please hit that like button and maybe tell your friends that are in different leagues about us so we can get some more.
Just don't do it on Yahoo.
Yeah, just don't do it on Yahoo. They'll ban you.
So we're picking 3 wide receivers, correct?
Yeah. And Addison, Pittman, McLaurin for me.
Addison, Pittman, and McLaurin for me.
Sutton's close with Pittman just based on circumstance, but such a better receiver and more likely target. So I'm with you guys. I agree.
Luke says, hey, y'all need 2 in a full PPR. Osborne, Wan'Dale, Downs, Elijah Mitchell.
I'm going
Osborne's
Wan'Dale and Wan'Dale for me.
Wan'Dale's not one on this list.
Kareem Hunt is
Wan'Dale
active.
And Osborne for me.
Kareem Hunt is active.
Yeah.
I'll go Osborne, Wan'Dale as well. Mike says at tight end, who to start? Jonnu Smith, Zach Ertz, or Logan Thomas? I believe I'm going to have Logan Thomas the highest here.
I do, and I am. I'm going Logan Thomas.
Yep. Logan Thomas for me.
Yep, Logan Thomas for me. Geno Smith or Kirk Cousins?
Geno. Minnesota will try to run the ball more, throw less, and I think Kirk's going to get hit on almost every drop back, so he's going to have a rough game.
It's Geno for me as well. CMC update may have negated first part of my earlier question. Yeah, knowing that he's going to try, it just hurts so bad if he goes and then gets only plays a quarter or whatever. Well, actually, he scores 20 points in the first quarter every week and then slows down. So I guess if we're going to get anything from CMC, we'll take the first quarter, right?
100%.
Ethan says Puka and Kelsey for Hill. I have Laporta, and my wide receivers would be Hill and Kupp. I'm doing it.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I would try Puka and Laporta. See if you can do that. But if not, I don't hate that at all.
That would be awesome. I doubt that's going to work.
Right.
You're trading Naku and Kelsey for Tyreek Hill. Yeah, unless there's some weird premium tight end scoring in here, I think you're easily on the best side of this.
Yeah.
The gap between Laporta and Kelsey is not going to be as big as everybody thinks it is, and the gap between Puka and Hill could be monstrous. So, and it diversifies you because now you don't have Puka and Kupp. So if Stafford has a bad day, you have a bad week. Now it's two different teams, two different wide receivers. So I absolutely like this way.
Tyreek Hill is currently on pace for almost 2,400 receiving yards. He's averaging 138 receiving yards per game.
He's going to break it.
Just to put that into perspective, when Kupp had his big year a couple years ago, he averaged 122 yards per game. And when Calvin Johnson had his big year, he averaged 118 or 119. So he is literally 16 more yards per game than those guys were. Now, obviously, it's only through 6 weeks, so that's got to hold up. But that's what you're getting out of Tyreek Hill right now is crazy. So I would rather have Kupp and Hill and Laporta than Kelsey, Kupp, and Puka. For sure.
Hill at the end of his career will be a guy we talk about as potentially being one of the best of all time.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't know. Other than
he literally is always open. He didn't even have to say it.
He's just different, right? I have a hard time. I'm old enough to have seen a lot of good wide receivers, but man, he's good. It's just they're also different, right? I have a hard time comparing Randy Moss to Tyreek Hill. It's two totally different players. So,
yeah.
But man, he's good. No doubt about it.
Kareem Hunt or Jeff Wilson for David? I think I'm going to go Kareem Hunt just because we have a little bit better of an idea of what he's going to get. Jeff Wilson could score 20 fantasy points today on 8 touches, though, because that's what the Dolphins do.
Correct.
That's why I'm picking him.
Yeah, so I definitely, if it's upside, if you need upside, I'm going Wilson, just hands down. I think Kareem Hunt's the safer play just because we have an idea of what he's going to do.
No, Malik Cunningham's out.
Oh, boo.
What?
I'm going to run to the little boys' room before Bryce bounces. I'll be right back.
Yep.
Good.
I just got something on Gibbs. I don't know what it said, though.
He's active.
Okay, cool. Which Star Trek character is a QB's favorite character? Chekhov, TD only league, start one flex, Zach Evans, Jameson Williams, Kendre Miller. I don't know Star Trek names, so I can't really.
I don't either.
Chekhov. I don't have really any opinions on those. Sorry. TD only league. I'll take Jameson Williams for the best shot at a touchdown,
you got to.
I guess.
You got to, I think. You can't.
Kendre's
already played.
Yeah. Love or Purdy and Washington D or Las Vegas D or Seattle D. So Seattle's the highest. Well, no, Washington is the highest ranked defense for me. And then I've got Purdy ahead of Love by quite a bit.
I will take Love this week, and then see it. Who'd you take? Washington's defense? Yeah. I'm taking Washington as well. Ton of sack opportunities today.
Choose two. Craig Henderson or Jeff Wilson?
So who are we benching?
Craig. So is that Craig Reynolds? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm benching
guys today.
I'm benching Craig Reynolds here. I'm going Henderson and Wilson, I think.
Yeah. I guess I'll bench Craig Reynolds. I can't imagine they just plug him in just as the same role as Montgomery. So Henderson and Wilson.
Hey guys, got a trade offer. I think it's horrible. What do you think? Damian Harris, I would get, and he wants George Pickens and James Cook.
Is it Damian Pierce?
Must be Damian Pierce.
I'm keeping Pickens and Cook.
Yeah.
Me too. All right, I'm going to take another quick break before he leaves, but Cat says Cook is terrible on goal line and coaches don't really trust him. True that.
Correct, Cat.
So, yeah. I don't know if he's terrible with the goal line. He just doesn't get the ball. But
probably
close? He's just smaller, too. Like, I mean, I get it.
Well, if you have Josh Allen, Latavius Murray, and James Cook, who are you giving the ball to at the start, right?
Right. The last option is James Cook out of those guys. How close are Jaylen Warren and Jeff Wilson in a non-PPR? Got to go with the ceiling. So Jeff Wilson, right? Yeah, with the ceiling and it being non-PPR, it'd be Jeff Wilson for me. PPR format, it would be Jaylen Warren.
I think I agree with you, and I'm starting to think I agree that he could take over that backfield too, right?
He should.
He probably should. I think draft capital is the only thing keeping Naji where he is. It's spent a first rounder on him, but the ceiling is Jeff Wilson, I think, for sure in that offense, especially until Achane comes back, and even maybe still after that. I don't know.
Keenan Allen will set up a picnic table between the hash marks.
I think so too.
Yeah, but I mean, is Dre Greenlaw and Fred Warner not good cover corners? I mean, the middle of the field is a scary place to be in the 49ers against the 49ers, I would imagine.
No. They play the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah. That's a good spot for him. Sorry.
That's what I think. To what you just said is I think what happens to Jordan Addison. That's why I don't like him this week.
Yeah. Palmer or Laporta in the flex spot in a PPR league? I'm going with Palmer. Laporta's got the worst matchup for tight ends this year. And
he's still a tight end. And yep. as impressive as Laporta has been, it's been on 3 catches and touchdowns a week.
Yeah. You'd imagine Roquan Smith in any passing situation is going to be on him, probably faster than him. One of if not the best linebacker in the NFL. So
yeah, they eat tight ends lunch this year so far. They're tough.
Rashee Rice or JSN?
I think JSN gets more targets a week, doesn't he?
Yeah, they're probably close to the same, to be honest.
I have a real hard time figuring out what the heck's going on in Kansas City. To Rick's point earlier, Mahomes just throws it all over the place, and then Kelsey gets targeted like crazy, right? So
yeah,
I want to
look real quick at.
Rashee Rice's
snap percentage is low.
I've got Rice ranked higher, but I'll stick with Rice. Better chance to score a touchdown, I think, is the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, Smith and Jigba and Rice see really kind of the same amount of snap percentage. Targets. The snap percentage definitely goes into JSN's territory with a 72% last week, which is by far his highest. So I'll lean JSN. I'll lean it.
I just think if they're getting the same number of targets, I think I want Patrick Mahomes targets versus Geno Smith targets.
That is something I cannot argue. Thanks, guys, for not helping me. I'm torn between Goddard and Kittle rest of the season. Goddard rest of the season for sure.
So take a look at George. Take a look at George Kittle, right? Like he has so many games. They've only played 6 or 7, but I think he has a couple of games this year where he only has 1 catch. And even the game that he scored 3 touchdowns, he did it on 3 receptions. He is just not a focal point of that offense when everyone's in that offense. So Goddard's been a little bit up and down, but man, he's much more relevant in that offense on a week-to-week basis. I'd be Goddard rest of the season by a fairly large margin.
Yep, I would agree. I just like Kittle a lot this week.
I think so.
Everyone needs to follow Joe Ortiz's footsteps here and sub and hit that notification bell. We do this every Sunday. Every Sunday. No one trades in my league either. Yeah, that sucks. I've got a couple of leagues like that. Like we're lucky to see 2 a year.
I traded Jaleel McLaughlin in a late first for Tony Pollard. How did I do?
Jaleel McLaughlin and a first? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it'll be late if everything goes right.
Yeah. I think it's an even trade. I don't know how I feel about Tony Pollard long term, but rest of the season, I really like him.
I just want to win this year. I don't give a shit about long term.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes that's all that matters. Do you guys think Jaylen Warren outproduces Deontay Foreman and Jerome Ford this week? I mean, I think any one of these guys could outproduce each other. I kind of put them all in that same tier. But I would honestly prefer to have Foreman and Ford in over Warren until we see the roles reversed in the Pittsburgh backfield. I mean, I could imagine these other two guys definitely get more touches.
I know I have Jerome Ford ranked higher this week. I think he's almost in a top 12 situation. Yeah, I have Ford at 13. I have Warren at 20. So Foreman's at 21. So I like them all. Obviously, they're all RB2 or better this week for me. But I think even though my rankings say that I would put Warren over Foreman, if I was updating them, I'd probably put Foreman over Warren right now for Bryce's exact point. This odd feeling that Naji gets somewhat going this week for some weird reason.
Right. Joe Ortiz replying to Cat City. They get to they're in here having a whole conversation with each other. That's good. Good to see the chat. The chat's getting involved with each other.
That's good, man. We encourage that
for sure. So, what do you think about M. Loud Monday since Debo? Is that supposed to be
McLeod?
Supposed to be Ray McLeod? Yeah, McLeod on Monday since Debo is out. Is he worth dropping Dillon or Rice for?
No.
Go look for Jawan Jennings first. If he's available, he is probably worth what the heck kind of give it a shot flex, but not Ray. Unless your league has return yards in it.
But you're not going to drop Dillon or Rice for him, are you?
Nah, I'm starting Rice.
Oh, sorry, I didn't even read that far. No, not at all. Maybe Dillon because he's so crappy according to you guys.
Well, I mean, he has been, but
I
hope he turns it around, but he just hasn't thus far. Tua or Lamar today?
Until somebody proves me wrong, the answer is Tua every week in that freaking offense.
Especially this week. Philly's been terrible against the quarterback this year. So so I'm definitely going Tua over Lamar. Should be a fun game to watch. And guys, I'm going to head out of here. I get to go.
Peace, bro. Good luck this week.
Pick up some furniture. Hopefully, try and get back home before the game starts. So I'll see you guys.
Does not sound like fun.
Good luck in your lineup, Sully. I hope you destroy me.
Thank you, sir.
See you later.
Later, guys.
Sully, don't look at your quarterback rankings. I'm going Tua.
Why do I have Lamar ranked higher?
You have Lamar at 3 and Tua at 5.
I don't know what I'm doing there. That's right.
I'm the same way. Like, I'll just take that Miami offense. Just basically, you could argue Josh Allen's Mahomes and Hurts over Tua, and that's about it for me. Where we're at. Joe says Ray still a gadget guy. I would go with the other receiver. Can't think of his name. I'm sure he was thinking of Jawan Jennings, like you mentioned. Mandarin Plays says, hey, guys, Ray or P. Ryan for the flex. So this is a real question.
It's P. Ryan. And I'm hoping to get 4 points here, to be totally honest with you, if I'm down to these two. But P. Ryan's going to have a role. It's going to be a diminished, watered-down role as the third guy in that backfield. But he catches some passes, and he's just got to take a screen for 25 yards, and he probably outscores Ray.
Yeah. Man, it's a tough one. Ray could just get, 5 catches for 25 yards too and outscore P. Ryan. So I'll lean, man, I hate going with a third running back. But I hate going with a sixth option and an
wide receiver. Too. Exactly.
Yeah, I'll go P. Ryan. It's real close for me. I mean, that's where we're at in the bye week Armageddon and injuries. Jesse Torres says 1 wide receiver, 1 flex. James Cook, Lockett, Amari Cooper. So which wide receiver are you going with first?
Probably Lockett.
I think I'm starting the 2 wide receivers just to make it easy.
I think so too. Let's hope Watson's better.
Mo says Osborne, Palmer, or Freeman in full PPR.
I'm going to go with the wide receivers here. I do like Foreman, though.
Which wide receiver?
Oh, I thought I got to pick 2. My apologies. Palmer.
I'm going Freeman. I'll take the touches. Douglas says, morning, need an RB2 and a flex in PPR. So we need a running back and then a flex. Gibbs, Ford, London, Deontay, Rashee Rice, or JSN. Gibbs.
Yep.
And then did I have London or Deontay ahead? So I have Ford, 47, London, 45, Deontay, 62. So I'm Gibbs and London here, with Ford being the next one, kind of close.
Agree on all of that.
Big Boss says, if you have the time, I have one more before I'm set, and an IDP for D spot, 1 point tackle, half tackle, 2 point sack, 3 point pick, 1 point pass defend. Roquan or Oak? I mean, I think it's Roquan.
I think it is too. Big Boss. I don't know if you're in our Discord channel or not, but if you're not, get on it. And if you are, tag Craig and Brad in there and ask them this question. But I do believe Roquan is the play here.
And I just dropped the link to the Discord in the chat. If it doesn't work, let me know, because we've been having some Discord issues with the link. So, yeah, I'll give you another link if that one doesn't work. Start Josh Dobbs or Deshaun Watson. Worried about his shoulder.
So when he was questionable, I think I have Dobbs ranked higher. I have Dobbs at 15 and Deshaun at 16. So I'll just stick with I'm just a hypocrite, right? Don't trust the 2 Lamar Jackson rankings, but trust this one. I will go with Dobbs. Dobbs has been like almost 4 to 6 points on the ground each week too, and Watson doesn't do that anymore. So I'll go Dobbs.
Dobbs has been worse the past couple weeks, though.
He has. But maybe he fights to keep his job now that the Kyler's knocking on the door.
So, yeah, he hasn't even topped 12 points the last 2 weeks.
I didn't know he was that bad.
Yeah, he's 11.7 last week and 10 point something the week before. I'm going to go Watson here now that we know he's back. He has only played 3 weeks. He scored 20 or more, 2 out of the 3, 12.6 the other one. So I'll go with Deshaun Watson here.
I should probably change to that then. I didn't realize Dobbs had been that poor the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, he had that nice stretch there because he had 1 point in week 1. Where'd he go? He had 1 point in week 1. Then he had 25, 17, 23, and then 10.7 and 11.1. So he hasn't topped 11.1 the past 2 weeks. So
yeah, that's not good.
He's 50-50 on whether he's going to get you a good week or a blah week.
Yeah.
Light says, hope y'all having a good morning. Stevenson or Moss in a full PPR?
Stevenson rather easily for me there.
Stevenson for me as well, and I hope you are having a good morning and good luck with your matchups today. Big Money says 12-man PPR flex, Rashee Rice, Deontay, or Addison.
Man, a lot of Rashee Rice today, hey?
Yeah.
Struggle with him. I think so. I think Addison gets the targets. I just think he's in for a tough. Yeah, I'll stay with Addison.
Big Money Joe says 12-man PPR Rice.
Same question.
Chargers? Deontay, Addison.
Yeah, same question.
It is.
Is it the same person?
Oh, it is the same person.
Oh, okay.
He just reworded it.
He's trying to trick us.
He or she. Mike Evans or Amari Cooper. Watson sounds like he is active.
It's Evans for me.
So I have Amari 42 and Evans 24. So it is Evans for me as well. Big Boss says, comment on your Kittle Goddard rest of season. Don't forget Debo out for a while. Kittle will see more targets probably.
You're not wrong. Debo's out a minimum of 2 weeks. But again, look back at times where Ayuk missed a week. Kittle is just a secondary option and a big one. Like I said, he's had 1 catch a couple of weeks. The 3 touchdown game, he had 3 catches. He's such an amazing blocker and such a good piece of that offense, and he's always going to be on the field. I think Dallas Goedert pulls away from him rest of the season. It's week 7. Debo's going to miss 2 weeks.
I'm going to look at this. So game logs. Yeah, so we've got 18 receptions for Kittle on 25 targets so far.
In 6 weeks? That's not great.
Right. And then for Goddard,
Goddard had a lot of targets and catches and no yards early, and then he kind of popped a couple of weeks back.
Yeah, so he's had 26 receptions for 36 yards, or for 36 targets, 26 receptions. I totally fumbled that, but he's only found the end zone once, and I think that's something that's going to change going forward as well. So I'm with you on this. Joe Ortiz says, thanks, guys. You're great. Got to run. Good luck, and everyone go Raiders. Hey,
Good luck to you as well.
Good luck.
Raiders play the Bears, so I don't think Rick's going to join you in that good luck.
I mean, at this point, I don't really care. Win, lost, or draw. I'm defeated. See you in 2024 at the NFL draft, where we will hopefully win for once. Yeah, if McLeod got return yards, I agree. Checkoff was a punt on check off. I appreciate you guys. Keep up the great advice. Jonathan, we appreciate you stopping by every single stream. Thank you very, very much. Shamir says, hey guys, kind of tough situation. Henderson or Jeff Wilson? Pick 2. Okay, so Craig Reynolds, Henderson, or Jeff Wilson. You did ask this earlier. If you missed it, we did go with Jeff Wilson and Henderson, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And all 3 of us were on the same page on that one. Doesn't happen often, so probably means start Craig Reynolds.
Right.
How do you think Deontay Johnson will do against Miami this week? If he's a full go, I think he gets 12 targets.
I think he's a wide receiver 3 flex option this week.
I would say
terrible, not great.
2.
Okay. I don't think he's quite that good, but I'm wrong a lot. So
just too many targets.
True.
Big Boz Productions, Okariki. You have some nice options, though. Oh, okay. Jaws is better at IDP than I am, so I would go with what Jaws says.
I would too, and everybody's better at IDP than I am.
I even have an IDP league, but I still go.
And
to
I
Craig.
do not.
I go to Craig all the time because Brad's in that one, so I bypass Brad and I just go to Craig, and I'm like, what should I do?
Brad's probably on vacation
doing?
Anyway.
My other 2 running backs are hurt. Should I start Brian Robinson or take risk with Aaron Jones? I'm Aaron Jones all day.
I think they're both a really nice start this week. Brian Robinson should run all over the Giants, but I do like Aaron Jones here, I think. Yeah.
Shamir says, thanks. No problem at all. We are right at noon. We will give a couple more minutes to get your questions in before we dip out. But I got some lineup work to do for sure, but I can sit here for a couple minutes and do that while we're killing some time here. But Big Boss says, hey guys, thanks again for all your help. I got to go, but we'll leave YouTube channel running. See you next week. Thank you very much, brother. Big Boss. Good luck. We appreciate everything you do coming by, you getting booted off of Yahoo and everything. You're the man or lady.
Right.
We appreciate that. So here's my question. So here's where I'm at. Where is my guillotine? So I can go Jeff Wilson, Craig Reynolds, which we already know we've picked Wilson over Reynolds. And then to pick up Here are my options at running back. Kyron getting hurt really hurt me here. I've lost like 4 running backs for extended periods of time in this guillotine league because I had Nick Chubb early as well. Okay, so we've got Gus Edwards, Ezekiel Elliott, Zach Evans, Tyjae Spears. Jordan Mason would have been an option, but now that we know CMC is probably going to play.
Spears isn't an option. He's on bye.
Oh, yeah. Spears is on bye. I forgot. Keontae Ingram against Seattle.
I like a Zeke, dude. That's if you have to pick somebody up, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can play Jeff Wilson.
I think I would.
That's what I was thinking, but I wanted to double check here. Lights asked again, start Kendrick Bourne over DJ? I'm assuming this is Deontay Johnson.
I'm starting Deontay Johnson and DJ Moore over Kendrick Bourne. Kendrick Bourne is nice, but not no.
Yeah, I'm starting Deontay Johnson over Bourne as well. Whoa, Malik Cunningham and inactive. Thought he was going to be next up when Jones got the hook. Yeah, I was hoping. I want to see him.
I picked him up this week in a dynasty league. I was very happy to find him sitting there.
Oh yeah, that's not too shabby. Hey, look at me and Polly's playoff going to move to 0-7.
I'm doing okay there. So I have this thing in Scott Fishbowl that every week I play somebody who goes crazy. So I played DJ Moore a couple of weeks ago when he had 200 freaking yards. I played Alvin Kamara this week. I was in first place in my division 2 weeks ago. I'm in 7th entering this week. I had Kyron Williams there. My team's falling apart.
In Scott Fishbowl, I've had one person play, and his name was Alvin Kamara for 43.55, and I'm still only 24% chance to win. So it looks like I may move to 2-12 in the Scott Fishbowl this year.
That's me almost every other year.
It has been bad. I have Odell in my lineup right now. Do you play Odell or Damian Williams? Oh, wait. What am I doing? I got Naji down here. What am I doing?
Odell.
No, Naji.
No, but in the first question, it's
right.
Odell.
I got you. I don't know why I hadn't moved Naji back since. Oh, wait. Nope, never mind. Got to start Odell anyway because I had T. Higgins in my lineup.
Okay, let's talk Bill Belichick.
Wait, one more question.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. We're going Logan Thomas there. Never mind.
Do you think there's a world where Bill Belichick gets fired by the Patriots?
Here's my question.
Yeah.
Did Tom Brady mask a lot of Belichick flaws?
I think so, but I also think that Belichick is a horrible general manager. I think that's his problem.
By the way, I'm starting Damian Williams because I also had another person on bye in my lineup. That team is ugly.
I haven't looked at mine yet. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, that's my question, right? Because he was not good before Tom Brady. They had a great defense the year after Brady left that really helped, and Mac Jones looked decent as a rookie, but other than that, they have been pretty bad. And the offense has been just horrific. I could see them firing Belichick. There's also been rumors about them trading Belichick.
Crazy. Where would they trade him?
I mean, there's a lot of teams that could use a better coach. So I don't really know how to narrow that down. Hopefully not Chicago, because I do think Belichick is it's hard to argue against Tom being the biggest reason they won, when I used to think that it was Belichick being the biggest reason. But what we've seen, Belichick without Tom Brady has not been good.
How many wins does he need?
Oh, I don't even know.
I'm looking that up right now. Because the thing that I think keeps him there is that. And like, if you're he's 17 wins back as Shula. So that's 3 years in New England, right?
I mean, that's 3 good years of 10 win.
It's 5 wins a year. It's 3 years.
How many did you say he was behind?
17.
I was thinking
it's like
27.
5.5.
That's what I was thinking, 27. So yeah.
So 5.5 wins a season. I guess what I think is if, let me put it to you this way: if the Patriots fire him, does he get a head coaching job if he wants one?
Yeah.
Right. So do the Patriots want to be the team that fired the guy and then he goes to wherever and becomes the all-time wins leader? Like, I think that doesn't look good.
I don't know. I think you got to look at your franchise over your coach, right? And right now the franchise is not doing well. It has been ugly on offense. We thought Bill O'Brien was going to be able to help that since they didn't even have an offensive coordinator last year, that new offense. But that hasn't changed anything. And they let Tom Brady go, the GOAT, and watched him win another Super Bowl in Tampa Bay. So I think Kraft wants to change stuff up. I think this may be Belichick's last season for the Patriots.
I think they need to fire him as the guy who puts the personnel and stuff together. Like, let him stay the head coach, but get the draft away from him. Get the, like, massive money to Hunter Henry, and then 2 days later, Jonnu Smith, and then not use Jonnu Smith ever. And then look at what Jonnu Smith is doing once he's used again. Basically trading Juju for Jacoby for Juju is like crazy. Like, he was always that guy for the longest time that would find a team's problem and turn them into something, like he did with Randy Moss and he did with, a couple of running backs and defensive players over the years. But he just seems to, that part of the game seems to have passed him. But I think he could still coach. But like, I really thought their offense would be better this year with Bill O'Brien versus those two defensive clowns running the show last year. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. He's horrible on offense. I don't think we give Josh McDaniel enough credit for what he was as an offensive coordinator for the Patriots. Because they never, I mean, other than when Randy Moss was there, they never really had that dominant, like, really, really, really great wide receiver. Obviously, Welker and Edelman were good, but they weren't your like super alpha.
No, your next best wide receiver was probably Terry Glenn.
Yeah. So
like, that's nothing great. So
it's tough for me. I think they need to shake it up. They had a dynasty. They get to
what? Screw them. They've won enough.
Yeah. So Chango says pick 2, Devonta Smith, Lockett, Addison.
I think I'm sitting Addison. Kind of hurts my feelings a little bit, but
I'm sitting Lockett here. They're all real close. I have Addison 29, Smith 33, and Lockett 38 overall. Full PPR, rocked by injuries. I mean, it would be nice just to go back to that. Yeah, but then I don't want to sit. I mean, you could wait and see, I guess, if DK is out, you could start Lockett over Addison, since Addison plays Monday night.
That's true.
And then go Lockett and Smith. I would be fine with that.
Yeah, I think Smith is the for sure one, right?
Well, he's actually second in mine. I have Addison higher. But they're so close that if you wanted, like, Lockett is the number 1 if DK is out, right?
Yep.
So that's probably what I would do is I would have Addison and Smith in, unless Lockett's out or DK's out, then I would put in Lockett for Addison because Smith plays at 1, right? Eagles.
No, Sunday night.
Oh, Sunday night. Okay, so then yeah, you get to watch this all unfold. So if DK's playing, I go the other two. If
I agree.
If DK's out, then I replace.
I think I agree with that.
Smith.
I think with DK in, I would put Addison and overlock it. So I'll agree with you on that.
Cool. Full PPR wrecked by injuries. Got to start 2 of 3. Pickens, Deontay, Wandale. Pitt guys better in a vacuum, but starting both feels like a no-no.
I go Deontay and Wandale here. I think Pickens takes a bit of a backseat this week.
I agree. I am on that 100%. Man, now I got to go make all these other nasty starting lineups in my fantasy league. Dude, this is so. Please tell me. I got to hope that I got a running back in this league. I did get Darrington Evans. I am literally about. Oh, I got Darrington Evans and Damian Williams off of waivers. So
I think you start Evans over Williams. I don't know. Maybe they like Williams. I don't know why they freaking added him.
I don't know either. Dude, my running backs are so bad. Because I got guys hurt and on bye. So here are my options. This is my running back room. Ty Chandler, Amari DiMercado, Kenyon Drake, who's a free agent again, Darrington Evans, Leonard Fournette, really needed him to sign with Buffalo, Roschon Johnson, Aaron Jones, Joe Mixon, Sean Tucker, Keyshawn Vaughn, and Damian Williams. And Joe Mixon's on bye, so I have Aaron Jones.
You might be starting Keyshawn Vaughn this week.
It's so bad.
Yeah, I've been in leagues with you, and you've had running back rooms like that, and you win them. So,
well, yeah, I mean, my receivers are Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill, Tyler Lockett, Chris Olave, and right now I have Allen Robinson in there because I have so many guys out, and then Evan Ingram at tight end. My depth in this league is not good, but I've scored the most points in this league, I think, and I've got a losing record. It's fun. I guess I go Darrington Evans.
Probably. He's way more involved than I thought.
How many points did Chris Olave score this week?
This week? 14, I think. 12, 14. He had 15 targets.
Live scoring he has scored 12.7, 7 for 57. Ingram was 5 for 45. Let's see. And I'm playing a 4-2 team. Yeah, I'm gonna need Darrington Evans to accidentally find the end zone. That's what I'm gonna need. If you're still watching, we appreciate you. We're just hanging out. If you have any more questions, probably give it another 5 minutes or so, and then check out of here. But I'm just setting lineups and
I'm starting Tyrod Taylor again in the fishbowl for the second week in a row.
I'm starting him in a league as well.
Gross.
Okay, so here's another league where I'm starting Rachaad White. And do you start Amir Abdullah?
Nope.
Or Darrington Evans?
Evans. I love how guys can be. They're on a practice roster, but for all intents and purposes, they're basically on the street. And then all of a sudden, we're like, "Yeah, you got to start that guy." Like, it's so silly.
Yeah, never said gotta, but geez,
I know. Well, in your situation, I think you do.
DK is at 4, so I'll have DK or Tutu. I get, or no, DK or Jackson Smith and Jigba. Jeez, this is gross. Joe Buttafuoco. Yo, boys, should Big Buttafuoco trade Diggs for Jefferson and Achane? I have Cup, Hollywood, ETN, Madison. Yes.
Yeah, man. If you can hang, and you should be able to hang without JJ for a while there, and hopefully Achane comes back. Yeah, that's a savvy move, especially if you have a winning record right now. Pick up those 2 IR guys. Because they come back, they're both league winners.
Agree. Starting all kinds of tight ends in that league.
You beat me last week, hey, in the one of those super flex bonus leagues where I don't think either one of us wanted to win that one.
Oh,
thank you, Joe.
I have somebody else running those teams. I don't even pay attention to them. I have no idea.
You're not playing them?
No, I didn't like those, so I just I paid and somebody else is running them. I told them do whatever you want. I'm not a fan of those ones. I don't have a lot of fun in those. Man,
they're okay, cheap, so they're all right.
So here's a question. Yeah, I just don't have fun with them.
That's fair.
Here's a question for you. In this league, I can start 2 running backs. I have Gibbs, McCaffrey, and Walker. Walker's the auto. If McCaffrey would end up being out Monday night, I would have Elijah Mitchell to put in. So do I go McCaffrey and Walker and then play Mitchell if McCaffrey sits, or do I just go Gibbs and Walker and eat it if McCaffrey plays?
Who are you flexing?
This league's different. You can only play 2 running backs max. You can't flex one.
I think Walker's my top ranked running back this week. So
yeah,
I think
Walker's
a slam dunk.
Yeah, Walker's easy.
Gibbs what's the rest of your team look like? Do you need the upside or just need to get some points?
I mean, this one's gonna be hard because it's a IDP league. So it's gonna be hard to decipher whether I need that or not.
I think go McCaffrey. If those reports are coming out that he's gonna play and it's Sunday for a Monday nighter, I think you go with him.
It would be nice if Achane was in and then I would just play him and eat it, but I don't think I can do it with Gibbs.
Starting to say that Kyler's not coming back till week 10. Bullshit. Need him back now.
Right. Pain shots like this. Well, can't play him because he's on IR.
Well, that's tough. Those are usually not good starts.
Right. So Levante, David, Ivan Pace. No, not Ivan Pace. Landon Roberts and EJ Speed. Bates, Branch. Derwin James. Damn, man. Why is it got to be so tough? I'll just go.
I was carrying Gerald Henderson in a league for 4 weeks and just dumped him. And then he freaking ends up showing up again.
Right. That's always fun.
Nice.
Okay. So this one should be pretty self-explanatory. Here I am. This league, I don't want to win, so it's nice, but starting Salvin Ahmed and AJ Dillon should get a lot of running back points this week.
AJ Dillon will be good.
No, I don't want him to be.
Well, you don't want to win?
Not in this one.
Oh, okay.
This is a rebuild one.
Salvin Ahmed's going to score 0 points, so. Unless they blow the doors off the Eagles and he gets to mop up. Oh,
I even have Deontay Hardy in that lineup.
Nice.
And I'm starting both Cole Kmet and Luke Musgrave. So that's now doing what it's supposed to. That's the Mario Kart one that I had the most points in the final week last year and got 9th.
That's so
decided
stupid.
To rebuild it.
Chris Godwin, George Pickens, or Deontay Johnson for the wide receiver 3 for Seth Temple this week?
Godwin for me.
I'm with you on that one.
Godwin for me. I think I have him ranked inside the top 30, didn't I?
Just picked up Tyrod and starting him in another league. Why not?
Top 40. Godwin 39. Pickens 51. Deontay 62. So it's Godwin for me. Godwin for me, and my last lineup that I need to set. I mean, here's another running back. Well, this is the super flex that I'm 3 and what am I? 4 and 2, 3 and what am I in this league? 4 and 2, and I want to lose. Why don't you guys take my players?
Well, you need to talk to my co-manager. He's our general manager. I'm just our field guy.
I'm like, I don't want to win in this league.
Seth, you are welcome. Put up that last question there, would you?
Very, very welcome. 25 balls says Christian Watson or DJ Moore. This is easily DJ Moore for me.
I don't think it's easily this week. But I think so.
G Money says Naji or McLaughlin in my flex, 0.5 PPR.
I think I have McLaughlin ranked higher, but I have the sneaking suspicion that Najee coming out of bye is okay, so I'm going Najee.
I'm going Najee as well. And then Jaws says, rooting for Myles Gaskin to get some shine. Hendo looked dunzo.
Sounds like Gaskin's inactive today, but I'd like to see him get a little bit. I picked him up in the league. That's how bad I am at running back, but I'd like to see him get a little bit of run too.
Yeah, I could start him in this league if he was. Man, what a year, right? Like, it would have been nice to just have Zach Charbonnet take all Kenneth Walker's work, but that hasn't panned out. All right, I think that's gonna be it.
Yeah, I gotta do some lineup stuff and then put together some DFS stuff just for fun.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a little bit of that as well. Thank everybody. Thank you all for the great Sunday morning. 3.5 hours of just questions nonstop. We appreciate you guys. We will see you next week. Oh, wait.
Got another one.
Do I drop Waller in my small bench 10-man league for a kicker?
No.
Have Mark Andrews.
Take the 0 with the kicker if you can. Do I drop Waller in my small bench 10-man league for a kicker? No. Can't you drop a kicker for a kicker?
Yeah, I would drop whatever kicker you had before.
Like, I don't care who the kicker is.
Do you have another option? Give us some more options here, because Waller,
he says, or run no kicker. So he must have dropped his kicker to pick up one of these other players, which I don't mind doing midweek.
But if the kicker's on bye, then I would drop him no matter who it is.
Yeah. So exactly that. So if the kicker's on bye, drop the kicker, and well, no, that doesn't make any sense, because you go back to the question. He's dropping Waller to add a kicker.
Right, but I don't know if he's trying to save his kicker that he's got.
Oh, okay. Yeah, don't ever do that. Don't ever do that.
Yeah, that's I don't know. Okay, so you already dropped the kicker. You
That's
dropped Nico Collins or Javante Williams.
I'm taking this. Are you favored to win?
I hate taking a 0 in any situation if you can avoid it, but I don't want to drop any of the guys that you've mentioned either. Yeah, I mean, he says it's a close
matchup. Oh, I'll drop Zach Evans for the kicker then.
He says it's a really small.
Oh, it's a totally different person, a different question.
Yeah. He says it's a really small bench. So yeah, I can get behind dropping Waller if it's really small bench, and you're gonna have other options to pick up on there with Mark Andrews. Also, especially if it's not a tight end premium, I'd rather have somebody to get me some points in a close matchup than not. You never know what that win's gonna do for you. I don't want to get a loss just because I didn't.
One last question, G Money. What's your record? And do you want to answer? Yeah, let's answer that while we wait.
Jameson Williams.
100%.
He's 5-1.
Take the 0.
I don't want to go to 5-2 if I can avoid it. I'll drop Wall. If the benches are really that short in your, what'd you say, it was a 10-man league?
Yeah.
There's going to be options on the waiver wire. And I would rather probably have one of the wide receivers that are on the waiver wire than Darren Waller anyway. But if you don't have a kicker, you're going to have to drop one at some point anyway to get a kicker, or you're taking zeros every week.
That's true too.
I don't like dropping Waller, but you're going to have a kicker at some point, and I'd rather drop the tight end than probably who you've got in a 10-man league at wide receiver or running back. So that's where I'm at with it.
I'm going to hold Waller this week. I'm going to take the donut at the kicker position, and then I'm going to see if I can't move somebody next week.
He said, yeah, I agree. I was playing the IR spot and had an extra slot for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're going to have to drop somebody at some point to get a kicker anyway, and it's probably going to be the tight end that you're going to get rid of.
Hey, the good news is one of your players is probably going to get hurt this week, and you could put him in the IR spot next week, because that's the way this season goes. Obviously not hoping that happens to you.
Just found out it's National Tight End Day. Thinking of Andrews and Waller. Big Boz.
Big Boz is awesome.
Yes, very awesome. All right. That is going to be it. G Money. Make sure you're back. You're here all the time. So make sure you come back. Let us know what you did and how it worked out.
Sure.
And he said, thanks. No, thank you for coming by and showing support. We appreciate it. Today was a great day, everybody. We broke some records for most concurrent viewers on a stream. So we appreciate you guys. And we will be back next Sunday morning.
Good luck today.